Okay. Ugh. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good morning. And good afternoon, wherever you may be. So, an impromptu casting session is in order. So I guess the short answer to all of this would be along the lines of a few people asked me to go ahead and cast this game. Just one person in particular, and then the other one was just like, if I wanted to. So here I am. Just waiting for the game to start. So and to give you guys a little tiny heads up, it's going to be between PSGS and PZR. That's going to be in the Contenders series, if I'm not mistaken. And it's the playoffs for season 31. Kind of sort of a little out of it at the moment, but I'll try to get my bearings back together again. So the players are trying to get all together and everything, and oh, there we go. Alrighty, so we all know the routine. It's going to be like a 3-minute delay of sorts, so gotta wait for the next 3 minutes for it to all load up. This is not a bad song. I like it. Oh yeah, you know what? While we're waiting, I'll go ahead and try to do a quick update on the whole entire situation for the NADPC. So if I can go ahead and find this real fast. Wikipedia. Alrighty, so the quick update here is essentially what happened yesterday. In the upper division, if you guys were very, very fortunate, and I think y'all were, we got to see some of the most insane Dota that we've seen in a while. Uh-oh. And with that in mind and everything said and so forth. Sorry, I just had to send a message saying I can't play. Okay, so where was I again? Okay, so what happened yesterday, right, was some pretty insane games. We had 2 based versus 4 zoomers, which was kind of one of those games that one of those series that everybody kind of looked at and was like, oh man, this is kind of like 50-50-ish. 4 zoomers have not been in good form this season from what I've been watching. There have been glimpses and so forth, but they just weren't in form at all, and they I guess you can say they underperformed a bit, and I dislike saying that they underperformed, but that's what it looked like to me. I think the team overall is very, very good. I'm not sure if they are one player away or if they are like this is gonna sound weird, a player level up away in becoming like a better team. Maybe they just need a little bit more time together. Yeah, I know they've been together for like 2 years, and that's something I think that's really nice, is that this team in 4 zoomers I think is going to be like on the cusp of just like, okay, we're gonna do this kind of thing, or like TI level kind of competition and so forth. But with that in mind, okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next series, and which was probably the most tense Dota we've seen in North America for quite a while. It is the series between Evil Geniuses and Quincy Crew. Now, this was more or less the deciding factor of who was going to win first place and who's going to win second, if everything holds out accordingly.
I'm really worried about
What the? Oh, okay, hold on. Oh my lord, we have a lot of people in here today for this. Just give me 1 second here. Oh, broadcaster, there we go. And then let's go ahead and transition on over. Okay. So, just to quickly summarize everything real fast, is that the winner between EG and Quincy Crew more or less put themselves in the driver's seat. As long as everything holds, they will be okay. In order for Quincy Crew to go ahead and go to the major and be like the #1 seed and not have to deal with the major group stage, they would have to win against Undying. All right. EG, on the other hand, they're kind of screwed. Not kind of screwed. They're just gonna do whatever. They have to play against Black and Yellow, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm reading this correctly. Yep, and that will be on the 20th of May.
I'm really worried about you.
I'm really weird. Damn freaking voice lines. My lord. I need to check the audio level for that. This is knocking it down to 40. Because it's kind of blasting into my ear. Okay. So we got this whole entire draft going on and so forth, and that's pretty neat. I do enjoy seeing what I'm seeing. Alright, so no Juggernaut, no Grimstroke. That's pretty... No, I would say pretty standard. No, yeah, pretty standard against PSGS, I guess. No Nature's Prophet. Okay. No Timber, no Viper, no Underlord, and no Razor.
I'm really worried about
5 seconds remain.
I'm really worried about me too.
It is Diamond's ban.
Okay, I just need to really mess with the settings some more. I know it's not the voice, but like, I should probably Yeah.
10 seconds.
Let's go with 35%. Hopefully that'll work better.
Minions turn to pick.
Let's see here. Oh, I didn't even get to like the most exciting thing is this, anyways.
I'm really
Back to
worried
the
about you.
drafting here.
I'm really worried about
10
you.
seconds.
I'm like distracting myself left and right at this point. Okay. Oh wow.
Dire must choose.
I just realized Bristleback was banned out at the second to last ban. Oh my. Alright, so no Tidehunter and no Dragon Knight.
10 seconds.
A little surprised that they did not opt to go for a first phase Bristleback on either side. You know, PSGS had the first pick,
Must choose.
you know, and PZR had the next two, and so I don't know. I was kind of looking at it going, huh. You know, and not only that, PSGS had a small little opportunity to go ahead and counter everything in front of them with Bristleback, but
I'm really worried about you. I'm really worried about you.
like no matter how you take a look at this draft at the moment, it looks pretty solid for both sides. Now the last time I saw Omni Knight in a draft like this in particular, I believe I was talking about how Jamokin was using it as one. So they're and it looks fairly similar to the last draft, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they need some big beefy boys in front. You know, Pugna was the mid, so that I believe that was played by Dedicated. Shackleford was on another 5. But I digress. So over on the PZR side, the Petting Zoo rejects, we have Pangolin, Witch Doctor, and Life Stealer. So the Witch Doctor is pretty nice. Ah, thank you. Shackle was Grimstroke. Yes. Thank you, Chef. Okay. So while sitting here trying to take a look at everything on site, I just keep staring at this Life Stealer and I'm thinking to myself, does he need a transport? Next Assassin would be a decent one, maybe Ricky as well, but I don't think those heroes are necessary per se against everyone else in front of them.
Night Stalker.
And seeing Night Stalker coming out makes me want to go, huh. Night Stalker has been getting a lot of play recently. And definitely all over the place kind of thing. Let me take a look, see here somewhere else real fast. I kind of feel like, yeah.
It is Radiance Man.
And oh my, I did not expect an Enigma to come out and play, because Witch Doctor, Night Stalker, and Pangolier all have a method of stopping Enigma.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. It is Dire's Man.
No silencer, no. Oh my, no axe. Oof. You know what? Axe is a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll talk about what we watched yesterday in the North American DPC a little later.
To bat.
Goodbye Clockwork. Okay. These are very non-meta picks. Like the only thing I can say out here that's meta is Deusa and Bristleback. Outside of that, it's just like, wait a second, hold on. And I'm trying to look over here to see, and it kind of feels like Night Stalker's been exclusively on the offlane,
10 seconds.
and it is one of those scenes where you just look at it and be like, holy shit. You know, he's definitely going to be a hero that's going to be on impact, you know, and very, very flexible in his build because of the nature of the hero. Oh my gosh, I need to wake up. This is not good for me. Okay. Let's see. I do feel like the Night Stalker can have a lot of impact in this game as long as he is able to use the Dark Ascension and get into the back line quickly without the Enigma spotting him out. Okay. And when you take a look at this game in particular for Enigma, and especially with the changes that they did with the BKB, I don't feel like, especially in this game specifically, I don't feel like a Blink Dagger is going to be your friend unless you can get like a 3-man or 4-man black hole with both Pango and Witch Doctor and Night Stalker involved in those black holes, where you have enough space where the spell is going to be effective for a good amount of time in the team fight, where the Pangolier or the Witch Doctor or the Night Stalker, whichever of those heroes are free, won't affect your play, especially on the jump. You want something to go ahead and really connect all of these heroes together. And personally, I think maybe a Chaos Knight would be pretty good. You know, he's one of those heroes that can really lane by himself if need be.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Why go for a Chaos Knight when you can go for a Lich? You know, he does have gaze, which is really interesting. I gotta figure out whose voice line that is.
Remain. 5 seconds remain.
Yeah. Oh man, these support effects are great. And ooh, okay. You want to go ahead and talk about a 4? You know, that can be a really good 4. Yep. That could be a good 4. All right, we're talking now. Let's go ahead and just use our little logical brains for the moment and think about it. Let's take a look at PZR. All right, you take a look at that lineup and you want to go ahead and believe what you want to believe.
10 seconds.
Which is the great part, right? So, who is going to be
5 seconds.
who's going to be playing what is the question, you know? And honestly, like, your mid matchup is either going to be is definitely either Night Stalker or Phoenix. And personally, I think I would go for Night Stalker because he can just go ahead and just pummel down Pugna, get a bracer, have some regen, and just pummel him in lane. That Nether Ward isn't going to do much to, you know, dissuade Night Stalker for running at him. You know. Oh my. This is one of those games where PSGS, they need to get the BKB onto their Enigma before the Blink Dagger and basically start baiting. You know, just bait Jamoke needs to go out there and bait himself or dedicated. So we're going to be looking at Shackleford being the 5, if I am not mistaken, which leaves Magic Goaty and Dewippa in the offlane for themselves. Okay. And if we take a look over on the PZR side, you know, BS9 is going to be the 5.
Prepare for battle.
I'm not sure this was a smart move, but I take it.
It's looking spicy.
This
My God.
pleases the master. Feel my cold embrace. Does it tingle?
The voice lines are too loud. Alrighty. So we got a few good lucks and so forth. We're gonna see how it all pans out. Let's take a look on the other side real fast. Okay. Alright, this leads me to believe that Jamie's actually gonna be the mid.
Just 30 seconds now.
Yeah, this leads me to believe that Jamie's gonna be playing mid. We got Sides gonna be in the off lane with with Agbat. BS9 is definitely gonna be the 5 to the Breaker in the Lifestealer. Kind of feels like they're trying to go ahead and do a quick challenge. Breaker definitely does not want to go ahead and mess with that. So we're going to go ahead and do an even split on the runes, which is a good start. You know, Dewippa is going to is he? I don't know about that. Like, okay. So they do see eyes on him. They have eyes on him.
Watch your step.
They're just trying to figure out what the strategy here is, and Dewippa, I don't know. Like, that's a nice little sentry ward right there, of course. You know, Breaker was really keen on like pointing out the fact that Dewippa was running in that direction. Dewippa hasn't really dropped the ward just yet. Trying to get them trying to find the best spot for it. Alright. Oh. Bramble Maze, and BS9's in a terrible spot. He's gonna get run down at by Dewippa. Great use of tangos there. And man, that last moment for the salve was very good for her. Oh no. Oh, Dewippa. Oh, if you... Oh, never mind.
Final ritual.
So they were able to go ahead and grab the Witch Doctor, and then the poor Night Stalker got eliminated up from the top lane. Okay. So Jamoken's been really keen on trying to run at the sides. Okay, out comes the Frost Blast, and comes the Frost Shield as well. They're going to go ahead and purify himself. And man, that degen aura and the right clicks makes things a lot worse for the Phoenix. Phoenix, given the fact that has no armor and more or less has to just stand there and just take it. You know, like, oh, has wood armor, never mind. You know, it's pretty difficult to be Phoenix. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Jamie real quick. Jamie's not too bad in a terrible shape. About 2 minutes in, needs to go ahead and control the runes. Bottle is on the way. Personally, he needs to go ahead and just like, trying to juke out that another blast, and there it is. Like I'm saying, like Jamie should just immediately try to control the runes. Like, don't be afraid of doing that, and get the best use of your bottle as you possibly can, and you know, just harass whoever's in lane, you know, and Dedicated's doing a great job in the creep control, you know, trying to shove the lane in as fast and quickly as possible. kind of felt like Jamie had an opportunity there. Okay. Gonna go ahead and opt away from that. We do have a little bit of action going on bottom. They're trying to finish the job on BS9, trying to find him real quick. The Maledict is right there, but the Whippa. Oh! And it was able to get on out. That's nice. But unfortunately, over on top, Jamokin and Shackleford running at him again. Kind of feels like, you know, that Frost Shield and Degen Aura plus the Purification, man. Just absolutely decimates everyone in lane. Yeah, knock that down a bit. Oh, wait. Jeez. This would be a lot easier if I did that. I'll knock it to 60-ish and drag that back up again. Oh! Alright, there's a Void. I'm trying to figure out if they can go ahead and go on this, and it doesn't feel like they can too much. Good job on the half wall from the looks of things. Over in the mid lane, we got Jamie contesting Dedicated. Dedicated, trying to come on in. Throws out the Decrepify. Oh, and Jamie with the Shield Crash to go ahead and put himself in a different position, which is actually really, really good. Was able to go ahead and get the Water Rune. Out comes the Swashbuckle. Didn't feel like he can get the change there in the kill, but baited himself and no use on the last charge on his bottle. Personally, I think if he did one more last charge on the bottle, and I think he probably would have had enough to go ahead and swashbuckle himself into a better position for that kill there. And then DeWippa is absolutely murdering BS9 over here. You know, backyard don't feel so good. And again, they are just absolutely murdering this top lane. PZR is falling apart little by little. As this game continues, the more they feel like, I don't want to be here no more. And is this a second? Huh. Intriguing. Okay, so that is just one set. Okay. Alright, sides moved up really far forward. 2 levels behind on Jamokin. I don't feel like it is necessary for him to be this far up when you can go ahead and try to ask your... Oh, they're going to move on forward. Out comes the cask. They're going to go ahead and Icarus dive on in, but man, that Frost Shield is preventing the Night Stalker from doing anything. Only 2 points in Void and 1 point in the Hunter of the Night is not going to cut it. They have eyes on backyard right here, so out comes the Frost Blast, the Purification. Degen R is coming on out, being lethal as this cask bounce, but not doing much just yet. So, the good old Witch Doctor was able to go ahead and escape. Sides is going to go ahead and try to attempt to murder someone, but it isn't going to go well at all. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom area, let's go ahead and try to find where he was. Okay, he was over there at the moment. Okay. Lifesteal went ahead and tried to push out that lane, or at least tried to defend it by himself, and he ended up paying the price. The rotation from Dedicated and the Enigma just was a little bit too much. And, of course, the use of Black Hole there probably was an important factor. Alright, PSGS. Oh, Shackleford's right there with the Whippa. The smoke is coming out great. Oh, and the Swashbuckle to go ahead and do some damage. The Curse Crown is up and going, but isn't going to do much when you went ahead and rolled on out. So great timing from Jamie. Great play in the Swashbuckle to counter that gank. And my lord. You know, he's not that far away from getting the Maelstrom. No. So, Darkwill is being ferrying something out to herself. So, anyways, let's go up top. Oh, there's a Sunray. Try to kill Jamokin there, and they're able to go ahead and get the kill. It probably took them a little while, but they were able to do it. I believe the use of 3 heroes to take down 1 is not exactly the best use of resources, but when you're falling behind quite a bit, especially in this stage of the game, it kind of feels like you need to do everything you possibly can to win it. Or at least to gain some ground back. Great job from Phoenix to go ahead and just pull the lane a little bit. But over here, kind of feels like Lifestealer. Just checking on it. Oh, Lifestealer with the SNY. Okay. But we need to go back up top because they're just going to go ahead and try to murder four sides and turn it all around. Oh, there's the gaze. Out comes the Sunray to go ahead and try to keep healed up. Jamie. Oh my gosh. He has the Invis rune and he went ahead and rolled on up. Jamokin's probably a little confused going, hey, what's stunning me? But I think he realized, oh, there is a rolling Pangolier. So that's a really cool, neat interaction. You go ahead and use the Invis rune and roll on up. So that was great, but they had to go ahead and sacrifice their mid tower. Oh, not yet. They had to sacrifice a bit of their mid tower to go ahead and pull that little stunt off. Oh, dead mouse. So if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty simple. You go ahead and activate the rune in your bottle, and then you go ahead and roll on out. So that's great from JB. Or did I have that one? Sorry, mess up backwards. It's well, I didn't catch all of it, so at least that's what I believe what he did was he had that bottled up, used it, and rolled on out. If not, I'm pretty sure it was more or less he rolled on out after he TP'd on in because he has no TP and used the Invis rune while rolling. My gosh, we have an entire break going on. Now, PZR, okay, we're about 9 minutes in. We have to take a look at the net worth. Oh, this is concerning if you're PZR. This is very concerning. The reason why it's so concerning is that your Lifestealer is not in prime position to go ahead and keep farming. Alright, like, I understand the SNY build, I really do. But what accelerates his farm? Nothing so far. It's just him jungling. You can't rely on that. If you're going to rely on jungling, you need to have at least one item that is able to go ahead and turn to, like, help him, like, push that and accelerate that. Like, Maelstrom, I think would have been fine. And if you were, and I know Jamie's already building that, but like, need a little bit more than just SNY. You know, it'll help him sustain and so forth with the SNY, but you know, it just doesn't feel right just yet. You know, not to mention you have an Enigma who has a mech, who opted for a mech and arcane boots, and is going to be building into a BKB like nearly right away. Okay, so a rage to get away from the Hohenzollern situation. That's really nice. Over in the mid lane, we got a bit of a skirmish going on, dedicated with the Whipper against Jamie and Akbat. You know, the Maelstrom's right there for Jamie, so he can go ahead and use his swashbuckle, of course. In the off time, when the lane is pushed up or evenly shoved in, you know, go ahead and take these stacks. And great job from Akbat from realizing and recognizing the timer. Go ahead and get those stacks, baby. There you go. Which leads to Jamie being like, okay, let me go ahead and defend this tower one more time. Wait for that next wave. In the meantime, oh, quickly just farms this up. And, well, he's going to go ahead and just run at this whole entire thing real quick. So he's not going to wait for it. And that's perfectly fine. And this is also a really nice rotation for Jamie and Akbat to go ahead and help him out. But when you take a look over on the top lane, we got poor BS9, who is decrepified and very, very fortunate that they did not further commit. You have 4 heroes looking for 1. I think that's a good sign for him to go ahead and commit. At least that's what I'm looking at. All right. Jamie really taking advantage of his net worth at the moment, like trying to be effective wherever he moves, which is good for himself, you know. All right, it's gonna go ahead and use the clarity, of course. It is time for runes, so that's great as to why he is positioned over here. Out comes the cask. Oh, there's the Curse Crown on BS9. Out comes the Chain Frost as well. They have him stunned up, and there is the kill. Oh, they're trying to focus Jamie real quick. Out comes the Dark Ascension. They're moving on in. Rollout is available for Jamie. Out comes the Decrepify and the Life Drain. There is the roll on out. And the quick swashbuckle. They're getting 2 out of all of this. And in return, they're able to go ahead and finally get the kill on 2 sides. Thanks to the Nether Ward. Are they going to go ahead and dive this? They are definitely doing so. But they missed the swashbuckle. A little extra effort in getting the kill. But I believe Jamie will be very happy with that whole entire situation as he goes ahead and wards up real fast and is going to walk away. This gives plenty of space for PZR's carry and breaker. He does have the Sange, so his life stealing is a little bit more effective. Out comes the Cursed Crown one more time on Backyard. The Whipper trying to chase him down is able to do so. He's going to go ahead and use his Bedlam and absolutely annihilate him. Alright. Out comes the Rage from Lifestealer. Trying to go ahead and be like, hey, let me go ahead and fight this for a little bit. Out comes the Curse Crown and the Bramble Maze missing completely. But the Curse Crown is still there to go ahead and annoy the living daylights out of the Lifestealer. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Jamie. He's doing some great rotations. And I feel like his situation, he needs to go ahead and take this ancient camp over here. We do have Pugno. Ooh, with an Aether Lens. Kind of feel like Aghanims is in order. A great job on getting the Medallion of Courage. It does need that Aghanim Scepter. So a little bit more time. Oh, keeps on Nether Blasting away. Gonna go ahead and just take away that tower. All right. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, Breaker needed an item to go ahead and help him farm. Otherwise, he's gonna have the need of his teammates helping him out, and this is something that you don't want entirely unless you're going into a terrible situation. All right, out comes a Death Ward. The Black Hole is available. Are they going to go ahead and drop it? No need, but out comes the egg from the Phoenix to go ahead and revive himself a bit. All right, and Dewippa running away from the situation. They got one easy kill. They're not going to overcommit. They don't want to use that Black Hole just yet. Ooh, Enigma's not that far away from getting his BKB. So 1,400 or so away is what I'm looking at. So Breaker was very fortunate to go ahead and actually farm up the rest of his the camps right there. I kind of felt like, oh, and Jamie got caught out in a bad spot right there. Probably had to dedicate the Black Hole, which they did use. That's the last kind of thing you want to do right there in that situation. Again, Jamie's trying to do his best to make space for the Lifestealer. And this is unfortunately what you need to do at times. And taking a look at Omni Knight's build at the moment is going to go ahead and commit to the Aghanim Shard build, where you go ahead and grab yourself a Hammer of Purity and the Heaven's Halberd to go ahead and just start whacking away at people. The evasion helps quite a bit. For your tankiness, you do get a Sanj, so
Is under attack.
you know, status.
Walls are fortified.
I believe status resistance is on there. Is it not? Yep. There's a little bit of status resistance and so forth. Over on top, we have a very dead Shackleford. Out goes the Chain Frost, trying to see if he can get that kill on Backyard. And Backyard's, nah, I'm going to survive through all of this. Goes ahead and quickly uses a salve to go ahead and keep himself sustained in lane. Ooh. That's about 2,000 gold for sides for him to get his Aghanims. As soon as he gets his Aghanims, he's able to go ahead and just start farming up everything in sight. So he's going to go ahead and Jamie with the plays right now, trying to see if he can get Magic Gotti. Out comes the cask. He's going to go down. There's the Bramble Maze to keep 2 in place. And able to get the kill on Dewippa. Out comes the egg. They have dedicated in their sights. Who more or less dedicated himself to getting the Night Stalker. Decrepifies himself just for a moment, but eventually will be taken out. We're gonna go ahead and have a one-on-one fight between Jamokin and Breaker. They're gonna be whacking at each other for a bit, but Jamokin decides to walk away. Breaker winning that fight, regardless of the fact that he has, well, I want to say he won that fight, but he more or less won the standstill. Jamokin was not feeling it, so he had to go ahead and try to walk away, even though he did have, the armlet
Should
of
look to
Mordragon.
their bottom tower.
Okay, so there is an item on the way on the courier. Ooh, it's a Blink Dagger. Ooh, nice. I think what would help out a lot for Pangalia right now would be grabbing a Yules. Because it really does feel like if he has one little small thing for a disable outside of his role. Alright.
Arms for the dead.
So it's either a Yules or a Skull Basher. Because a Swashbuckle can be devastating at that point. Alright. So just hear me out. A Yules, I think, would be nice to have. But given that your main target and priority is definitely going to be Enigma, there are cases where it kind of feels like, okay, Yules is nice and all. And it's good, but you need that guarantee. You know. Because that BKB is going to stop him from, like, getting smacked from like a Yules, which is fine. You know, it's just like, gotta take a look at that build for a little bit and think about it for a moment. You can build Yules or you can build Skull Basher, and with the amount of gold that he has, he can go ahead and quickly figure that out. We got 2 smokes going on. They just ran into each other. We got this the silence going on. Crowder's Crown goes down. The Bedlam is active. We have the egg and the roll out. Oh my gosh, and the Death Ward as well. The Chain Frost doing its work. Dewippa getting smacked just a little bit. Ooh, they were able to find her real fast. Oh man, talk about looking at a team fight that's going to be putting you right back into the game. And this is it. Alright, you were hovering in the top 4 with both your cores, and now both your cores are on top, while kicking a few of them down. Alright.
Is under attack.
Okay, the 20-minute mark. We're probably looking at the Aghanim Shard right there. Yes, we are indeedy, with a Vambrace on the way to Omni Knight for his Tread swapping. Like, you couldn't his Vambrace swapping. You couldn't ask for something a little bit better. Alright, because, like, you know, plus 5 attributes to the other one and 10 to the main that you go ahead and use on. It is like a mini power treads, which is fine. You know, which is cool and neat, you know. Just having that Hammer of Purity is really nice to have as well, because, like, take a look at it. It's pure damage, my folks. Because you have other more pure damage from Purification. The more pure damage, the better. You know. So Jamie's definitely going to go ahead and commit to getting the Skull Basher from the looks of things. He does have the Mithril Hammer and the Belt of Strength on the way, or at least bought out, and not on the way just yet. Sides has opted to continue the Aghanim Scepter, even though the Solar Crest is still on the table. Of course, the team fight going on over here on the side. Jamie is in a lot of trouble. Out comes the Crippling Fear to go ahead and do the silence, but man, that Cursed Crown and the Bramble Maze keeping sides in place. Out comes the Black Hole. They're pulling two back in, and there's the egg from the Phoenix. Breaker trying to survive this fight, unable to do so. The egg pops, and Jamokin's gonna walk away with ease. That armlet and purification helping him out. And man, the struggle that PZR is going to have in this game is going to be very interesting if they cannot find their way through any of the BKBs and finding that back line. You know, that's why it's so important for this this Night Stalker to go ahead and find a way into that back line. This tower is going to be, well, falling ridiculously quick. Jamie's almost there with his Skull Basher. Just needs to go ahead and farm up with just a little bit of more gold, but that's not going to be helping much if he's going to go ahead and run into 3 other heroes. Oh, that Bramble Maze ruined his whole entire rollout. And that Cursed Crown was good. Oh boy. It's going to be a lot more difficult for PZR to get back into this game when they just got back into it. You know, like, Lifestealer is getting there. You know, he does have the Skull Basher. He's almost primed and ready to go ahead and take on these fights, but like we saw in the last one, you know, Jamokin was able to run on in. He does have the Halberd to go ahead and negate the Lifestealer. And just start throwing things down with his Hammer of Purity and just keep smacking away. You know, he's a very, very tanky boy. He just needs a few more. He just needs to go ahead and just roll Heavenly Grace, and that's about it. You know, just run on in. You know, this is a very interesting. Oh man, like, given how that's like a 4-second cooldown, and you're dealing 60 plus 115% of his base damage, and he is healed from doing that. It's just like, you're looking at the base damage, right? 204 plus 33. Okay, so 204 more or less. Yikes, that's the yikers. I mean, just yikes. No, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, like, cause like that 33 damage is coming from the 15 damage and then phase boots. Yep. So if you built like maybe a heart, it would be even like more detrimental, because it does say base damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ooh. So it looks like they're opting for the AC on Breaker, which is fairly good. You know, I'm trying to get Agpat to finish up the Shivas. Alright, they're going to go ahead and fest on in. Here's Jamie with the rollout. Out comes the Guardian Angel. Here's the Black Hole on 3 heroes. The Icarus dive not helping, but out comes the egg just in time to be exploded. And Breaker walking away. Oh no, and Jamie got caught in the Bramble Maze, was trying to go ahead and shield crash away, and this is just turning into a disastrous team fight for PZR. Oh no. You know, that Witch Doctor tried to do his best, but it didn't help out too much. Oh man, that BKB, that Blink Dagger, the way Magic Gotti is pulling off these black holes, it doesn't seem like PZR is able to go ahead and get back into this game anytime soon. A Dark Ascension is available for Night Stalker still though. does have his Aghanim Scepter. BKB is next on the plate for him. Even though I feel that BKB is very good for him, they need to find a way to go ahead and pick off one person. And they need to do pickoffs. They need to separate the team fights a little bit more. So that's really nice to have Jamie there with the rollouts. You know, Jamie focusing on the back line a bit with his rollouts and everything and so forth is really what, I'm not going to say it's what you need, but is very, very crucial to winning this team fight. You know, out comes the Dark Ascension. He's going to go ahead and throw out the Void. There's another blast. Out comes the rollout, which is not going to hit Dedicated, who has a BKB. But it doesn't mean they can keep on fighting, because that's what they're doing. Now comes the Sun Ray as well, helping out with the Phoenix Akpat. Another 10 seconds before he can use his egg, but it doesn't feel like he's going to survive. Oh my! And DeWippa with Gotti. Absolutely team up together to take down Jamokin. Oh, not Jamokin. To take down Night Stalker and the damn Pangolier. Ooh, that is a no feels good moment. BKB being used on the Pugna was perfectly timed. You know, Jamokin using his Heavenly Grace. It's just... Oh, that did not just go well. That did not go well for PZR whatsoever. They have the Aegis on Dedicated. Dedicated's pretty much a happy little boy right now, and not giving a care too much. They're going to go ahead and reset one more time. They just need one more wave, and they'll go ahead and try to probably end this game. Alright, this is going to be a high ground defense that PZR needs to be weary of. That Nether Blast is doing its work. Out comes the Void just one more time. The Bramble Maze and the Heavenly Grace doing its thing. You know, it's just it's starting to look very, very bad. Ooh, nice swashbuckle and a little bit of luck on the lucky shot. You know, PSGS is they're biding their time slowly, trying to use this Pugna. Out comes the Void one more time. He is disarmed. They're gonna go ahead and use a Glimmer Cape, protect himself. I believe they have eyes on this. They do know. Oh, Void one more time. Out comes the Sun Ray. The Heavenly Grace used to help him. Oh, but he was rooted, essentially saving Dedicated and keeping that Aegis alive. Great job from DeWippa to make sure that the Pugna doesn't die in that situation. And there's another blast. They're going to go ahead and chip away and siege very slowly. Out comes the Void. Bramble Maze keeping this Phoenix rooted. Oh, Life Drain coming in, but has to be forced to using the Icarus dive to get away. The Cask is out and bouncing around a bit. Sunray being out there, Heavenly Grace on Jamokin. Jamokin trying to be the big tanky man and is able to go ahead and help his team get that tower. Ooh, Dedicated moving on in. Sieging very slowly. They can do this for the next few minutes. I think they have about 3.5 left. Work on it very slowly till they find the opening that they need. The Phoenix is relatively low, trying to keep himself in good position. Alright, now comes the swashbuckle one more time. PZR trying to defend this the best that they can. Oh no! Night Stalker getting caught out, and oh, there's the rollout from Jamie. He's going to go ahead and roll on in and try to get into the backlines, which he's doing. The Dark Ascension with the Crippling Fear has the people of the silence that he needs. Oh, out comes the BKB. And oh my gosh, the egg going off just in time to interrupt the black hole. And they are able to go ahead and get 3 to 4 people in all of this. The Pugna is left for dead. Dedicated, trying to figure out a way if he can find a way out. Doesn't seem so. He's gonna go down real quick. Great high ground defense from the side of PZR, and they have a window of opportunity to go ahead and find themselves some map control, or at least an opportunity for it. Bramble Maze is out. Oh, it doesn't look like it's a good thing for Jamie, because the Bedlam and everything afterwards killed him. DeWippa with the Glimmer Cape and using the Bullwhip on herself to go ahead and get away. So it's just like, I'm not running at them no more. Oh, man. Oh, Jamie must be feeling pretty bad. Like, I don't know if he's happy. Oh. The Shiva's guard is... Oh, yay.
Can't kill the dead.
Huh. Okay. I think that's going to raise your buyback a bit.
Flesh sustains.
Okay.
Gold remains.
Anyways, the Phoenix is probably pretty happy that getting the Shiva's guard is going to be very useful against the stupid Omni Knight. You know, BKB still on the plate for sides, throwing out his void as best as he can, trying to level up thanks to Tome and so forth. It feels like PSGS doesn't need to push forward, but more along the lines of try to retain what they have already. So PZR failed on trying to regain control of the map, or at least try to gain some form of it. Right now they're just throwing out wards. They're trying to throw down the best sentries in places, and so that way they have better control of the map out of the range from that sentry. So that's really good news if you think about it, if you are PZR. Okay, PSGS is opting to go ahead and roll together as 4, using Jamokin to push down mid. A little bit of a ballsy move on his part, at least in my opinion. He is nearly 3k alone without the use of his armlet. So he's a big tanky boy. So they're, you know, corralling him back to the team and be like, hey, we need to focus a little bit. They had a great siege going, and they overextended just a tad bit. And well, that Dark Ascension was well timed with the egg and interrupted that BKB and Black Hole. So it kind of feels like they don't want to make that mistake one more time. So Magic Gaudi's going to be pushing himself, or not pushing himself, he's going to go ahead and hide himself in the back lines as much as he possibly can, so that way the Night Stalker doesn't Dark Ascension and Crippling fear him for quite a bit. Alright, Science is all the way over here, moving on forward, throwing out the Void. Alrighty. Throwing out that Bramble Mace, trying to keep people in position. And oh my, that top tower looks like it's going to be taken out from Breaker. Breaker doing his thing, split pushing. Out comes the cask once. They're going to go ahead and use the Crippling Fear now, and was able to go ahead and do a quick little bluff of sorts to keep the team from pushing on forward. It is going to be available in a few more seconds. Breaker split pushing the best he can. The Nether Ward doing its thing. You know, just absolutely just punishing anybody using spells. So they had to get rid of it as soon as they possibly can. Alright. Throwing down one sentry. They know there's another one out there. Their second one got dewarded. Oh, Breaker, Breaker. Naughty little boy you are. Was able to go ahead and get Shackleford to come on back. So he has a very small window of opportunity for his team that he created to go ahead and make a 4-on-5 or a 4-on-4 team fight, but doesn't feel like PSGS wants to fall for that trap. But they did point out that Jamokin is alone for the time being. He can be picked off if they wanted to go ahead and run at him at this very moment, but they're opting to stay inside their base. They want to play this a little bit conservatively. Breaker just doing his thing that he's trying to do. You know, just split pushing as best as he can. Try to get the most net worth that he possibly can for his team. You know, doing the split push tactic, they were able to get one tower, and they can probably get a second tier 2 in the bottom lane if they can go ahead and keep PZ, well, not PZR, but PSGS stuck over here in the top lane as they're pushing forward. So it's more along the lines of like trying to avoid what is unnecessary. Oh, there's a haste rune for Dewippa. Dewippa can do a lot of damage with the Bedlam. Alright. Not entirely going to be committing here. Oh, Jamie on the other hand is throwing down one swashbuckle. But they are pointing out that he is having a few more reinforcements. They're going to go ahead and smoke up. Breaker's running directly at the freaking Lich. And Lich is going to survive for a little bit because here comes the BKB, the Blink Forward with the Black Hole. Breaker being able to get away. The Witch Doctor with his Death Ward doing a lot of effective damage. There's a Sun Ray to take out good old Jamokin there. And oh, they get the final kill onto Magic Gotti. So you want to talk about having a moment to yourselves as an uh-oh moment. That was it. That was it. They smoked up, put themselves in prime position, couldn't deward fast enough to see that they were smoked up on the high ground, and was able to go ahead and take advantage of that. And PZR coming on top and pushing out the lanes. Because that top lane is gone. That middle lane is gone. That middle lane's still right there. So Jamie pushing in this top lane the best he can, as quickly as he possibly can, is going to go ahead and try to do some relatively good damage. You know, the 3 buybacks are available. Doesn't feel like it's necessary to go ahead and buy back just yet. They do have a lot of time on the clock. No longer is the fortification available. So we're going to have Shackleford throwing out some frost shields. Try to protect this tower as best as they... not tower, but the racks that they can. But it's going to be going down regardless. They do have Aegis. Trying to see who has that at the moment. Lifestealer has it. Wonder who got shards. Oh, Witch Doctor's probably the one that got the Aghanim shards. And quick little reminder of that. It turns him into his own Death Ward. It's called Voodoo Switcheroo. Extremely useful, this game. Ooh, even got the roll up with the Aghanim shards there. Okay, so I'm a little confused. Not confused, but I didn't see who picked up what. So it felt like Witch Doctor was able to go ahead and get his own Aghanim shards. If not, that was from the Roshan. But knowing Jamie, I'm pretty sure he was the one that picked it up. Oh boy. Ooh, Timeless Relic. That's really interesting to see. That's a decent build. Oh, he does have cheese for himself later. Huh. Alright, so everything is looking kind of 50-50. The net worth is indicating that, you know, this Lifestealer is going to be a bigger problem than he should be. Ooh, he also does have Nullifier available as well. Oh, no, the Leveler's in his backpack. So when they go ahead and do some, you know, advancement onto the map, right, and if they want to go ahead and control it some more, they're able to go ahead and do so with ease. And the Leveler being super nice to have. Jamokin wrapping on in. They're trying to see if they can force Breaker away, and they're able to do that just for the time being. Doesn't feel like Breaker wants to leave this area just yet. PSGS working as 5 together, and pushing forward. Trying to do their best here. Oh, there's the Swashbuckle. There's the Midnight Pulse to do some damage for Breaker. Jamokin, Frost Shield, Heavenly Grace. Can't seem to fight this. Nope, they're going to go ahead and commit the Dark Ascension. Oh, the Bramble Maze, the Cursed Crown. Oh, Breaker's all alone right now, but he is not afraid. He has Aegis. Out comes the Life Drain. He's going to go ahead and quickly rage that off. They're trying to use a lot of right clicking here. Here's the Blink Forward. The Black Hole is there. Now they only have sides there with the egg in the back. Stuns up 3. There's a Sun Ray to help on out with Magic Gotti. But the right clicks from Jamokin is absolutely decimating the Witch Doctor. They're doing a 3-on-1 fight against Jamokin. And oh, the Chain Frost was there, perfectly timed. Breaker trying to survive this fight. He is going to. The Aegis reclaimed once, you know, and Jamie trying his best to help on out. And can he go ahead and get this kill on Jamokin? He's able to do so. And by golly gee, Breaker's going to be looking for some more blood. Uh-oh. But he has to fight Dewippa, and Dewippa with the bedlam and everything. Thanks to Shackleford's gaze, was able to go ahead and secure that big kill. Oh man, they had to commit a lot for that. And they turned it all around quickly. Man, I'm not entirely sure what was the bigger mistake. But the biggest mistake was probably running into Jamokin 3-on-1 so close to each other. Oh, dedicated. Trying to go ahead and oh my gosh, the quick little use of roll up. And oh my, they have to Dewippa using Bedlam. I almost turned that whole entire moment into a complete utter disaster for Dedicated and Dewippa. But my gosh, you know, the whole entire use of roll up and the roll out from Jamie was so oh, how do I put it? Creative. That it really threatened Dedicated and Dewippa into being like, we need to leave and move on out if we want to survive and not throw this game. So the game is entirely up for grabs right now. If you're just looking at net worth and so forth, PZR is barely holding on. They had a 3+K advantage a little bit earlier, but so far Dewippa and his lane, not his laning partner, but Dewippa and Magic Gotti have been absolutely helping out with keeping a stranglehold for PSGS on this map. You know, it's just like, oh. When you think Breaker is doing just enough to tip the edges, just tipping, not the edges, tipping the scale for their favor, you know, Dewippa's right there with the Bedlam and everything. Like, take a look, man. Like, Bedlam frickin' sucks, man. Like, it's like the worst thing for you. Like, it hurts when Bedlam goes off, you know. Plus 32 Bedlam damage, just absolutely... unless you have... Let's see here. Unless you have Ghost Scepter, that's not going to stop it. Okay. Oh, we have a... It feels like we have some smoking action going on. We have PSGS moving from the side, rotating little by little, trying to go ahead and find their way through the jungle from the looks of things. They're able to go ahead and throw out their wards. Okay. You know, it's very important you have vision over in this area, because if they didn't have vision, they would not have won that team fight. So let's take a look on the other side. They also smoked up. They're reading each other's movements a little bit. They're seeing it right now. Here comes the rollout. Where's the blink coming in? They stunned up. And stunning again. And again with another stun onto poor Dewippa, throwing out the Bramble Maze, and Jamie, knowing the situation, has to swashbuckle away. Oh, that was very close. They didn't find their initiation that they were looking for, so they're going to go ahead and back away. Back onto their side of the map. They have a little bit of a push going on the side lanes at the moment. Kind of feels like they want more than just that. You know, it kind of feels like this whole entire bottom area is up for contention right now. Because, like, all of that is just really important space. That's why the outpost is there for both sides to go ahead and grab for contention. Kind of feel like a good sneak play right here would be Breaker running for this top outpost. And Roshan's not up just yet to go ahead and grab it right now. Probably use himself as bait and so forth. Able to go ahead and do that. A little surprised that there wasn't like a mass exodus or mass TP from PSGS, because that's a very important outpost for themselves. If they lose this mid tower right here, and given that their top lane is open, right? Like a quick elimination of one wave or two puts a lot of pressure in that lane. As I'm talking about pressure, we see PSGS all playing around their own word at the moment. Not giving away that they know that they see a sentry there. They're going to go ahead and just put a lot of pressure on this bottom lane, which they did for a moment. They want to go ahead and grab this Roshan. They know it's up. Yep, the Eidolon sees it. They know it's up. Shackleford throwing down some wards. Alright. Do they have eyes? Yes, they do. They have eyes on Breaker right here in the ancient... not the ancient camp, but the big camp right there. I think they want to go ahead and try to sneak this. I don't know if PZR know that this is happening. Ah, somebody pinged it out. Backyard pinged it out. They're saying, hey, something's there, maybe? Oh, they know now. They scanned for it. So they have eyes on Jamie, who instantly rolls out. He's going to go ahead and use his rollout. Oh, there's the black hole onto 2. Oh, now comes the Chain Frost doing a little bit of damage. There's the Guardian Angel. Oh no, Breaker goes down in this whole entire fight. There's the Icarus dive. And oh my gosh, the Night Stalker, no sights. He's going down. He's out of this fight. And dear Lord, the Whipper's doing this thing. And oh no, this cask isn't going to help out much. Oh, Agpat. Down goes Agpat and say goodnight, Witch Doctor. Right now, Jamie's the lone survivor. And Jamie's like, oh God, not now, not this. He needs to go ahead and not TP on back home, but he is definitely doing what he possibly can to go ahead and be a distraction, because right now this is more or less a situation that his teammates and him don't want to see. Oh, the gaze is right there available, but he blinked just in time, trying to cut lanes as best as he can. Phoenix with the first buyback. I'm coming here in the bottom lane, and Jamie needs to go ahead and cut the lane some more. He needs to grab another creep wave. Ideally, this one was the one that he needed to cut, but the second one being used are trying to hold Breaker for another one. Another blast to go ahead and get rid of their last tier 3 tower. Now all of their barracks are exposed. And my God, it doesn't feel like this is going to be a barracks that's going to be surviving any much longer with dedicated right there. The blink forward from Jamie, the Abyssal Blade. Here's the rollout one more time. They're keeping this damn dedicated stuck, but he's BKB and that Heavenly Grace. And oh, the misstep on the rollout. Oh no, Jamie was stuck there for a moment. He's going to go ahead and swashbuckle forward and going to go ahead and use the Abyssal Blade. They're throwing out everything they possibly can, but that Chain Frost again doing its magical damage. Ay, ay, ay. Really well-timed Chain Frost. Oh, another blast being thrown out. The Life Drain trying to kill this poor Life Stealer. Oh, he had to go ahead and invest himself and kill. Oh, Pugna does go down for the first time in this fight. Buying back again. Breaker in the back line's trying to kill Shackleford. And oh, again, Magicati with the black hole. Perfectly timed. But oh, all he had was Night Stalker. Oh, no. Oh my gosh, everything's going downhill at this point. Everything's being thrown out. The haymakers left and right in these team fights. Oh, they're trying to find their way to this Life Stealer, but they can't find a way. And oh, the BKB being used by Sides. And he needs to go ahead and maneuver himself. And Jamie with the rollout. Oh, they're trying to keep this damn barracks alive, but that Nether Blast is ruining their plans. The Mega Creeps is up and running right now. Oh no. Oh man, PZR had one hell of a high ground defense once. Can they go ahead and eliminate these creeps? Force something here from PSGS. The swashbuckle one more time. The blink 4 from Magic Gotti trying to, but could not get that black hole of full duration. Is going to go ahead and have a second one because of his refresher. And he was able to go ahead and get Jamie one more time, but Breaker right there in the back lane trying to kill Dedicated, and they're able to do so once. And out comes the Void. Can they go ahead and try to get Jamokin? Jamokin's right there. Another 20 seconds until he can go ahead and use the Abyssal Blade. Jamokin in the back line. Oh, that's Voodoo Switcheroo, keeping that Witch Doctor alive for a little moment until Jamokin killed him. And Shackleford is being murdered by Breaker. Breaker trying to do his best to defend this base all by himself. He needs to do it for about 70 some odd seconds until someone can come back, but he's being rooted up. It's a 4-on-1 situation, and their whole entire base is being overran by all these creeps and the Enigma themselves. Magic Gotti trying to do everything. Buyback available, still buying back. They call it GG, but it doesn't feel like Breaker wants to give up just yet, and they're gonna go and force it anyways. PSGS with a victory for game 1. Ooh-wee. And PZR trying to figure out what went wrong. All right, that was the end of game 1. And let me go ahead and just throw out some music here real quick. All right. I don't know when game 2 will happen, but it will probably be happening soon-ish. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just keep playing some music for everyone here so y'all can enjoy it. And I dropped some frames. That's not good. Okay. Let me go ahead and just take a quick walk around and so forth while this is my while I have this break. Okie dokie, so that was the first break. The second game is on its way. I believe we have about a minute or so, maybe 2 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick catch up on the rest of what happened yesterday from the NADPC. In the lower division, like I mentioned in the stream before, all right. The most important game of the week was basically between Team Dogchamp and Arkosh Gaming. You see, the reason why it was so important is that whomever won that series put themselves in the driver's seat for the second place of Division 2, or the lower division of NA. Now, if you finish in the top 2, okay, you go ahead and get yourself promoted to Division 1 for next season. Whatever that may look like when Season 3 rolls around. Because we're going to have the next major that's going to be coming up, and as soon as that major is finished and whatnot, we're going to be moving on to TI. Now, they did mention in one of their announcements that whomever is participating in the Dota Pro Circuit leagues, right, more or less qualified themselves into being doing the open qualifiers, I believe, or the closed I think it's the open qualifiers for TI. Okay, so we're gonna have a mishmash of a whole lot of different teams going at each other's throats for a chance of getting into the closed qualifiers and then to go on and into TI. Okay. So we have a lot of invites going to be sent out for and so forth. So we'll see what happens. All right, and I believe those invites are going to be definitely sometime after the major, this upcoming major, which is going to be hosted in Kiev by We Play Sports. Now, if you haven't seen the production from We Play Sports, I'm telling you guys, you got to check them out. They are fracking fantastic. And let's see, what else was I thinking? Oh yeah, so the matchup between Team Dogchamp and Arkosh Gaming was so important, right, for the lower division, that, like I said, whoever won put themselves in the driving seat for second place and potentially put themselves in position to get themselves into first place for the for the chance at Division 1. So if you finish in the top 2, you get a chance at that, but like more or less you have like a $1,000 or $2,000 difference in terms of placement with money prizes. So if you finish in first, you get 17, second gets 16, third gets 15. Okay, so it's not the most like outrageous difference, but like it's a pretty big difference. So with that in mind, right, let's go ahead and keep that in mind. We had a 3-game set series between Arkosh and Team Dogchamp yesterday, and holy cow, they played against each other as if their careers depended on it. You know, they were taking risks when they could have, and they just they tried. It was a slobber knocker, I'll tell you that much. Alrighty, so with that said, we're ready for game 2. Oh, I never told you the winner now, did I? Now, the winner between the two teams was Arkosh Gaming. They won. So they put themselves in prime position for second place. Now, it's up to Team Dogchamp to take on the undefeated D2 Hustlers and keep their hopes alive for promotion to Division 1. Now, in the event that there is a tie-breaking situation for lower division, all right, tiebreakers, where are you? I think it turns into a round robin best of 3 or best of 1 situation. For tiebreakers, because I don't see any rules for the tiebreakers for the NADPC. Anyways, let me go ahead and turn this music off and then roll on over to that transition there. God, I love that transition so much. Brings me back to the childhood of when everything was simpler and everything was Star Wars.
Dire must choose. Radiant's turn to pick.
Omni Knight.
Okay. Anyways, so we got
10 seconds.
a very interesting opening. Instead of letting PSGS have their Dark Willow, they took the Dark Willow away from them. They don't want to deal with Jamie's Pangolier, so they banned that out from PSGS. And same thing with Razor. They don't want to see that hero either. Now, PZR, they went ahead and banned out the Grimstroke and the Juggernaut as well. So chances are we're going to be looking at, again, another Jamokin Omni Knight. Now, what would pair well with Dark Willow? Anybody with another stun. Or you're looking for some sort of sustain. Maybe a Keeper of the Light with the mana. I'm not entirely sure.
It is Radiant's ban.
Ooh, okay. So they're going to go with Viper, which is a pretty nice flex pick. All right. At this point, you kind of... Okay, so they want to take out... So they banned out the Enigma. That was a respect ban, so that way Magic Gotti doesn't go ahead and grab that again. They took away the Timber Saw because they don't want to see the sides with a really nice, decent offlaner, as well as not wanting to deal with a counter for Omni Knight. Now, if PZR wants to go ahead and be really, really nasty in this game, you go ahead and forego the whole entire notion of like, okay, let's use Timbersaw as a counter, but more along the lines of that opens up your strength hero pool as an offlaning choice. So you go ahead and narrow it down a little bit. They took away the Underlord, which is perfectly fine. So that way Magic Gotti doesn't have something in his arsenal. So why not go ahead and pick Centaur? You know, you have the Stampede to go ahead and chase down, because like that's more or less some of the issue that you had last game, because the G-Gen aura from Omni Knight just made things a lot more difficult for your team positionally. And so that's one way of looking at how you can go ahead and attack this Omni Knight. I felt that the Lifestealer wasn't a bad pick either, because the Lifestealer was able to go ahead and deal with Omni Knight as long as there wasn't too many supporting heroes for Omni Knight to like help himself and surround himself with. There is a lot of debate going on this one ban. Oh, they did not want to see a Necrophos. Interesting. So chances are this Viper may be a mid Viper, but you know, there is the possibility of being
It's
an
looking
offlane.
spicy.
10 seconds remain.
I do like the idea of how they want to go ahead about this. They took away the Pugna, and there's no Nature's Prophet, which, ooh, and this is intriguing. And PSGS kind of sort of surrounds their Omni Knight with Pugna for a bit. So they're opting in with another great replacement with Death Prophet. So Omni Knight was more of a frontliner with Pugna being used as like the health battery and so forth, and Pugna would do the pushing and all this other stuff on top of it with their team fights, especially on the high ground, like oh my. And so they opted for another great option in Death Prophet. I think this is where you go ahead and tell yourself, okay, we need to go ahead and counter this. Death Prophet, who's going to be either mid or in the off lane. We know that Omni Knight's going to be in the safe lane with the Lich. So the Viper can stay the mid at this point. You gotta figure out how to deal with a Death Prophet if Death Prophet's in the off lane, which is something that you kind of sort of need to talk over with your team for various reasons. So if I was to go ahead and run this, I'd be like, hey, let's go ahead and grab something big. Okay, Treant Protector is definitely something big. And that definitely makes it a lot more difficult for the Death Prophet to run at your safe lane carry at this point. Not to mention someone who can really potentially harass you out of lane with right clicks and Leech Seed, and as well as the Nature's Grasp, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Or wait, was it Nature's Grasp or Nature's Wrath? Because he does have his ultimate. Anyways. So we're running into extra time here. Looking at a... Oh. Alright. This definitely seems to be pushing Death Prophet into the mid category at this point. Alright. Yeah, you're definitely being pushed into the mid lane.
10 seconds remain. 5.
Yeah, I see this Death Prophet being a mid. Oh. La 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 la. Okay, you just... Okay, this just got way more interesting now. Alright, so no AM. I would really be considering about removing Storm Spirit away. It was I believe getting rid of Storm Spirit would be a really good choice of taking him out of the pool. But if you got a first pick, I think that might be it. It's either you take away the Storm Spirit or you take away the Puck, right? And then you pick one or the other and throw them in the middle, because either of those heroes can go ahead and deal with the mid, because you want to throw Medusa in the safe lane. Viper does great in the off lane, or you can turn Viper into a 5, leaving Dark Willa and Treant Protector in the side lanes, and running at Omni Knight and Lich. Right, Treant Protector and Medusa in lane together is more or less a really nice way of having some good synergy going. Because you can go ahead and put the Living Armor on Medusa, which makes her the focus. You throw out the Nature's Grasp or just to slow down the heroes. You come out, you smack them a little bit. Medusa throws out the Mystic Snake. Now you got a big, big problem there. So they're really focusing on getting rid of the of carries that can be detrimental to Medusa. I don't feel like PSGS's pick for mid was set up, but their carry is the Omni Knight. So PSGS was very worried about a Bristleback.
5 seconds remain.
So they potentially took away a winning mid hero for themselves. But that doesn't mean you can't go ahead and mid another hero in mid. You know? Because like like if y'all haven't noticed, Bristleback has been like one of those heroes that like is broken as hell.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Ooh, no Tiny. Oh my, they really wanted to make sure they go ahead and get themselves like a really good mid matchup. And here, you know what? I'm just saying it like that. I don't think Death Prophet's gonna be mid. I think Death Prophet got pushed into the sideline, being an offlane hero now.
5 seconds. Dyer's turn to pick.
Behold the horn of night.
Ooh, Nelly. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we got plenty of options for PZR. You got a team fight in Magnus with a big roll. What was it? Roll. Reverse polarity.
Remain.
Okay, that RP is like PSGS cannot get caught by Magnus's reverse polarity. They cannot. If they get caught by Magnus's reverse polarity, whomever he skewers back into his teammates, they're going to be donezo. Because you got a Treant Protector and a Medusa. As well as a Viper. If Viper throws out that Nether Toxin, it is just bad news. Oh, take a look. It's Centaur Warrunner. Never mind, I'm Psycho. I really thought they were aiming for a very good mid matchup, and they did everything they possibly can to secure Dedicated a really nice mid matchup. Okay, so let's take a look at this one more time. Right, we got Magic Gotti with a Centaur, who's gonna most likely be paired up with the Whippa in the Lion. We have Rusty Shackleford pairing up with Jamokin in the safe lane, and Dedicated playing mid on the Death Prophet. Now, Jamie is most likely going to be the mid hero of this game with the Magnus, because Magnus against Death Prophet is not the most ideal situation, or the most ideal mid matchup, but he can sustain fairly well. Breaker and Backyard are going to be teaming up together in the safe lane, if I'm not mistaken, and we got Sides and Apgat together in the off lane, which means Sides in playing as Viper with a Treant Protector that's going to give him sustain in the living armor and some harassment on the side. It's just oh boy. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. PZR needs to go ahead and make sure they play this game as slow as they possibly can. They don't overextend. They don't go crazy with anything that they do. And they should be A-okay for this game. And what I mean by like A-okay, I mean like they need to make sure that oh gosh, where was I? Okay, so like I said, they just need to play this game slowly. That's all they have to do. And they'll be okay afterwards. They don't have to worry too much about the Centaur if Centaur gets a heart. Okay, you just ignore the Centaur and just run at their base. They can't do much after that.
Prepare for battle.
I'm not
Feel
sure
my
this was a smart
cold
move,
embrace,
but I take it.
Alrighty.
Careful. Does it tingle? Are you lost?
Oh my. The absolute love between these two teams is just... It is just hilarious. Alright, so Magnus has a lot of faith that his team is going to keep him alive. And he feels like his matchup in mid is going to be okay, which is fine. If we go ahead and run on over to the other side, they are not smoked up just yet. They did not buy any smokes for this. Okay. Oh. I do like the double ring setup here on the Centaur Warrunner. You know, you got a 5.2 health regen going on. You can run back under your tower to make it 8. You know, and you can regen real quick. The Tangos helps out a lot. You know.
With the fate of the universe.
Oh, Breaker scouting out. They're going to go ahead and move away from that. Breaker will be moving towards the bottom lane. They don't want to reveal too much that the Magnus is mid, but I believe they already know what's coming their way. Okay. Nice little ward setup, like right off the bat. Great job from DeWippa to make sure to go ahead and get some vision to know which hero's coming. And from what direction. Okay. Ooh, almost got that last hit. So, Jamie's game plan, more or less, is be big, bulky boy. You stay here, okay, and try to deny as best as you can. You can go ahead and tank a lot of damage for a little while until he can get himself to level 3, level 4, and try to avoid the whole entire notion of the Spirit Siphon. If you can avoid that in lane and other things as well, he'll be okay. Oh, misses his skewer, almost got dedicated, and that would have been trouble for dedicated. He had a small little window of opportunity and was unable to be successful at it. So if we could go ahead and take a visit up here on the top lane, okay, we have the Treant Protector being a nuisance towards Shackleford and Jamokin, as you can see. We do have Sides doing a relatively fine job. And last hitting great, in fact. Apcat just throwing out his right clicks. For every Frost Blast he can hit once. Oh, he probably doesn't want to commit his poison attack just yet. Nor does he want to go ahead and get his Nether Toxin. He wants to go ahead and get his Corrosive Skin so that way he at least can, harass just a tad bit. And there's the Nature's Grasp. You know, and there's the Overgrowth. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so we do have some runes coming up right now, and then the water runes. Over in the mid lane, we do have an early bottle from Jamie. That's something a lot of mid players have to invest into right now. Is that that bottle in mid OP. When the water rune was able to go ahead and give you 3 charges, it was fairly broken. But if we take a look at the bottom lane, Backyard and Breaker are having relatively good success against Magic Gotti and DeWippa. Alright. You know, he already ran through 3 of his tangos in lane. Okay. Trying to force Breaker away, being mana drained. Out comes the Earth Spike. They have the Cursed Crown on him. Bramble Maze misses, so they have a very small window of opportunity to go ahead and get the kill onto DeWippa, who's going to go ahead and use his Fairy Fire to ensure that he lives. Now comes the Centaur Stomp from Magic Gotti to prevent Breaker from moving forward and go ahead and put himself in position for the Lion to salve up safely without being under too much threat. Okay, Magnus controlling the lane really well. 2 runes in his side, so he can be a little bit more reckless than he usually is. Can also stand there and take more damage than necessary. Okay, the Prophet does have another round, not another round, but does have a bottle. Used up 1 charge. Is going to be focusing on trying to get the best last hits that they can. But that also means Jamie can go ahead and try to, like I said, can go ahead and do this in the fun, in an interesting way. Goes ahead and defends his tower when he needs to, when it pushes onto him. Okay, he needs to go ahead and try to control the rune, but he's going to go ahead and sacrifice that easily because, like, look, he needs to focus on making sure that these creeps, right, in this wave doesn't go up this hill. All right, the second it goes up this hill, he has to be defending this tower. And put everything, not everything on the line, but has to be in position to defend it, which takes away his ability to go ahead and grab these side camps. Okay, because like you're going to rely heavily on getting this Echo Saber that he wants to grab. Okay. And really try to push the pace. Okay. So right now he's going to go ahead. Oh, he's going to stack right now. He's going to stack, isn't he? He's stacking. I don't know if he got that on time. Oh, he did. Barely. Okay. Over on the top lane, we have the whole entire contention for this camp to make it easier for sides and Agap to go ahead and run at Jamoken. Like, look at this few poison attacks. He's already running out of lane because those poison attacks actually stack. Oh, the frost shields right there with the Degen aura to go ahead and put some more damage on there. Agpat moving back. Has plenty of mana, so he can go ahead and use, you know, his living armor to heal himself up, which he's doing right now. You know, sides gives himself an opportunity to go ahead and be super aggressive. Ooh, the courier was just in sight, but was able to go ahead and avoid it. Another Nature's Grasp one more time. They're throwing down the life seed, the leech seed, sorry. Was able to go ahead and put a good amount of damage. They're both level 6. Out comes the Spirit Siphon over in mid. Jamie trying to be very careful about how he wants to approach this. All right, the 6 minute rune mark is up. Catapults are pushing. And Jamie sees it. He's feeling super happy. Oh, and first blood happens up top. And I missed it. And that was the treant. Oh boy. There's the shockwave, so he can have his cardio right there to be aggressive, to push forward. He has the arcane rune being used. Kind of feels like he wants to bait dedicated in. You know, he can go ahead and RP at this very moment, but the Spirit Siphon, oh, and he used it a tad bit too early. Instead, baited dedicated in, who's going to go ahead and use another round of Spirit Siphon. Has no mana, but does go down to the tower in the end. Jamie being a tad bit confused about how he's playing his own hero and not paying attention that DeWhip is showing up with an Earth Spike and is going to go ahead and try to kill him. Out comes the skewer. And DeWhip a little happy and a little sad that he didn't go along with it, because if he went along with it, I think he would have gotten Jamie. So it's really important that Jamie goes ahead and does these rotations into the triangle as best as he can. Ideally, that's what you want. You know, having these quick stacks and so forth, just so you can go ahead and accelerate your own and help out your team with some of the neutral items. You know, now, it's unfortunate that Jamie had to go ahead and sacrifice so much health on the tower that he did, because like this exorcism is just fracking brutal. Like, he can't do much against this. His RP isn't going to be there for another few seconds. He can go ahead and glyph this if he wants to, which he's doing. Exorcism is about to end. Oh, here comes the Spirit Siphon. He is in a lot of threat, but in comes 2 TPs. Can they get at least one? They got the Bramble Maze going in the Cursed Crown, and Dedicated with the great job of juking it. Oh, was able to go ahead and get out of there safely. And, you know, the Sentry Wards and the Wards are right there. I mean, they can go ahead and get rid of it now, so that way Jamie can get some of his gold back. Okay, he does have enough for a Robe Magi, so you can go ahead and purchase that up, get the Echo Saber going. Great job from Agpat. Oh, barely out of range. So Jamie can go ahead and get a revenge kill right here, right now, if he wanted to. But that illusion rune is nasty. Over in the top area, we have Sides. Just taking care of his business, as usual. You know, doesn't feel too threatened by Jamoken. Shackleford is there on the side to make sure his boy doesn't get murdered. On the bottom lane, we have Magic Gotti cutting lane. So the Medusa's just going to go ahead and get the courier out to her to go ahead and get the Fairy's Trinket. And probably wants to make sure that the courier does not get murdered from Magicati, so they're going to keep eyes on it. Which is okay. You're fine with this, especially if you're a Medusa. If you were like maybe 2 or 3 levels lower, this isn't what you want to see, and this is definitely what you don't want to see right now, is seeing all that farm being pulled away from you. Okay, you got to keep eyes on that at all times. So pushing out and letting them cut lane is perfectly fine for you. Out comes one Bramble Maze. There's the Cursed Crown. They do have to whip a stuck into position. Out comes the Earth Spike. The Magicoti going into position with a Centaur Stomp. Oh, and the Bedlam being used to go ahead and keep herself out of position. Well, in trouble. Sorry, not the Bedlam. That was, no, it was Bedlam. Nope. It was Shadowrun. I'm an idiot. Over in the mid lane, we do have a hasted Jamie who feels like he can go ahead and kill. Does have the RP available, but that Spirit Siphon does way too much damage. Uh-oh. Trying to move forward and move away at the same time. He's being gazed up at the moment. You can go ahead and come in. Has RP on 2. Here's the skewer. And can they do the damage? Yes, they're able to go ahead and get rid of the Lich, followed up with more teammates, and we have a party in mid, because good night, Dedicated. They're going to go ahead and throw this party in your honor, so think of it as a dedication to you, as they go ahead and try to kill Dewippa as well. Agpat just running on through, not giving him much of a care, and oh, that's a dead courier. Oh no. Oh my. I thought they were going to go ahead and take that tower. Like, if you're going to invest that many heroes for one location, I think you may want to go ahead and just take the tower. Because on the next push, that thing's probably not going to survive. Unless you want to go ahead and sacrifice Jamie again, it's not going to survive. Oh, out comes the Exorcism. They're throwing out the Nature's Grasp right now. Trying to slow it down. Dedicated. Trying to do what the Dedicated does. I should probably put myself on offline mode now. Alrighty. That Exorcism not being used. Oh, being used. Okay. Have a good night, Jamie. I kind of felt like Exorcism wasn't being used all the way proper, but is, you know, fully used at this point. Throwing out that living armor, keeping this tower alive as much as they possibly can. They don't have a fortify anymore, so they will get the last hit on it. Unfortunate from Agpat to go ahead and miss that deny. Oof. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the net worth at the moment. Jamie's on top of the net worth. Oh, but over here on top, we're going to see a very dead... a very, very dead Jamoken. Tip coming out from sides. Oh, Jamie not giving a care about the Spirit Siphon. It feels like Sides wants to do something about this. Out comes the Bramble Maze. They have a Rooter down. And, jeez, Louise. Dedicated. Gone. Deleted from this game. Jamoken doesn't seem to be too focused on getting the necessary items this time around. It kind of feels like they want to go for the long sustain route in team fights, which is something very interesting given that Sides already built his Rod of Eidos. Okay, now if you went ahead and tried to go at this in a different way, we're gonna most likely see a Glipnir. They're gonna go ahead and dedicate the Stampede for this one though. Down goes Breaker, absolutely breaking his game for just for the moment. They do have a Vanguard onto Centaur, so which makes him severely tanky. Out comes the Exorcism one more time. They're gonna go ahead and commit to this bottom tower. They had to sacrifice their top one, and getting this bottom one's going to be relatively easy. Very minimal amount of resources. They have about 4 heroes here dedicated in this area. Alright, they're just going to go ahead and pull that wave off. Free gold for whomever wants to have it. Of course they won't give it to Shackleford. He's just a support. But they're going to allow him to go ahead and take care of the top area. Kind of feels like they're going to be moving into this direction and so forth to go ahead and try to flank from the sides. But Magnus and Jamie, they had eyes on Shackleford for just a little moment, and they were able to go ahead and take care of the pesky lich. Alright, so here we are. Breaker is having a very nice game. Oh, feels like SNY is the play for Medusa at the moment. Doesn't mean the Manta is not going to be made. Kind of feel like a Manta, and then after that it's just like whatever. You know, oh, they have eyes over here. They know who's there. They don't want Jamoken to have too much free farm. Alright, so out comes Breaker. Going at these folks. Just running at them. Throwing out the Mystic Snake. Trying to steal this farm right now. Oh, there's the Ice Blast. Blink Dagger still available for Jamie. Jamie can go ahead and really control the pace of this game right now if he wanted to. And in all truth and honesty, I think he should. Like, this is like what Magnus Mid does. Controls the tempo of the game. All they need to do right now is gather up as 4. Have the Medusa farm in the triangle, push mid, and really force a reaction, right? Because right now they have very little time for dealing with a Death Prophet who has very little mana. But the moment she goes ahead and uses her, has the Eternal Shroud going and so forth, oh, they caught out the poor Dark Willow, but it feels like the Stampede's going to come in. Oh, and the great 3-man RP from Jamie. They're just going to go ahead and clean up easy right now. 4-4-1. Great job from Jamie, recognizing that the Dark Willow was dead. Sides using himself as a little bit of bait. And oh, that Blink Dagger with the RP just ruined PSGS night, at least so far. You know, that Empower, that Echo Saber, you're looking at a lot of damage. Jamie's looking at himself going, hey, I did good. So let's see here, what's on the courier? Just the TP. All right, so this gives your Medusa a lot of space, right? So the SNY is completed, which means the Ags is going to be on its way. He sees Jamoken right there, at least I believe he does. So he's going to throw out the Mystic Snake, try to get him off of the, you know, just get him out of here. So for a quick little reminder for Mystic Snake, if you have the Aghanim Scepter, whenever it hits a target for the very first time, it's going to go ahead and and turn him into stone. Okay, but if you get the Aghanim Shard, you get Cold-Blooded, which whenever you get targeted by a spell, you throw out a Mystic Snake. So it's a little like give and take kind of thing. So you can go ahead and grab Aghanim Shard now, because there is a good amount of folks. Oh, there's Rod of Ados. They're going to go ahead and commit the Spirit Siphon here. Stampede also committed to get Dedicated out of there. They cannot lose Dedicated for like anymore in this game, because right now when you go ahead and take a look at this net worth, you see Magnus on top, you have Medusa in second place, which is the last thing you want to see if you are PSGS, because your Jamoken in the Omni Knight is sixth place. That's the last place you want it to be. I need a little bit of water. Oops. Wrong button. So if we go ahead and take a look over in mid real fast. We have Crimson Guard being made from Magic Gaudy, which is very good against the Magnus, because Magnus is going right-click build. We have a Lion who's trying to save up for a Blink Dagger, for positional purposes, of course. Lich trying to get that 4-staff finished. as soon as they possibly can. And Death Prophet has... Oh, okay. No Sanj on her, but like a Sanj being made for the Omni Knight. So we're looking for a lot of sustain and probably the Halberd as well. I'm probably leaning towards seeing how dedicated finishes this build, because I think a boots of travel would be in order for the Death Prophet this game. I kind of feel like the Death Prophet doing a lot of split pushing on the side lanes will really go ahead and open up the lanes, or at least open control for the map for their team in PSGS, because they do have one outer tower, which makes things a lot easier for themselves. So having one outer tower in this kind of contested area of the map and how contestable it is makes it a little bit easier for her to go ahead and go from one place to the next without much issue and too much fuss. Okay. Seeing a lot of movement, trying to make sure that the lanes are pushed out and not on their side of the map. That's why you leave Shackleford and the rest of your supports in the mid lane pushing stuff out. So because it's like the most dangerous area of the map, you don't know if you're getting smoked on or being engaged on. It's looking pretty bad. You know, it's not the safest thing. Sides, oh, investing into a boots of travel. Ooh, Nelly. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You got boots of travel, so that lets you split push ASAP. And Jamie with the pause has a Hyperstone. So AC is, I believe, what's being made next. All right, and here we are, unpaused. Sorry, there's a little bit of quote-unquote drama going on in the NA region at the moment. So, when you have a Treant that's going to be throwing on living armor the way that he does, like I'm saying, throwing a... Oh, boots of travel really will help the situation. All right, they're going to need to commit Stampede for this, but Jamie... Oh, he had that. He really did. And he did not commit to it because he thought he was going to get 2 heroes. He really, really had dedicated. I wouldn't say dead to Reds, but he really had dedicated right there. And he was like, oh, God, nah. So they're going to go ahead and smoke up. They see dedicated. Out comes the Rod of Aetos. There comes the silence. There's the Nature's Grasp at the moment. Oh, they have the Curse Crown going. But they're going to go ahead and back away from this anyways. I really thought they were going to go ahead and commit for it. But because of what's going on, we see a whole entire like topsy-turvy effect where 3 of the heroes on the dire side is going to be more or less committing to this push on bottom. Which, in this case, is kind of like the Radiant trying to corral these heroes into each other. So that way Jamie has an opportunity to do something with it. All right. Kind of feels like they have something. There's no vision. They're going up ground. They find Dowippa, a TP coming in from Agpat. The blink and the drag back. They got one. They're trying to look to see if they can get another one. But that's not the case. They're going to go ahead and try to really put more of their... Oh, This Medusa's really close to Aghanim's. It kind of feels like you want to go ahead and honestly just really surround this Medusa, like really protect her at this point. Because if you can do that, you know, she can go ahead and get her. Oh gosh, she didn't. Oh, I think. If you have these many heroes all together, I think Breaker will learn that having your courier at the secret shop is only so useful when you have another one across the river. So you're delaying it a little bit, especially when you have these many heroes dedicating to a tier 1, because what happens if PSGS decides to go ahead and commit to defending this tower? I wish I can talk to them, but oh well. All right, Dewippa's back. Gosh, the rivalry between these two groups and everything, it's just funny to see.
Dire's bottom tower is no more.
All right, so they're going to move a little bit forward. Kind of feels like they're trying to bait this in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But what they don't realize on the other side of the map is they have Breaker in a very bad spot. Because they know, they saw him move forward. So they're going to go ahead and try to TP on back and engage on this. There's one very, very dead Treant. And Jamie with the show up with the 3-man RP. The Medusa's Gates and the Stampede trying to keep people in place. Jamokin is down. The Guardian Angel did as much as they possibly can for the protection, but Dedicated is standing his ground, gets Jamie in the end, but is rooted up for the time moment, and again rooted again. So they're going to go ahead and try to kill this Death Prophet, and it looks like she will be deleted. The Overgrowth to go ahead and ensure the kill there. We have Shackleford trying to run away from Breaker. Shackleford trying to go ahead and juke, and oh, ran back on outside into sides. Oh no. That Aghanim Scepter coming into play, but that 3-man RP from Jamie absolutely changed the outcome of that whole entire team fight. And not only that, that first tier 1 tower is going to be still standing. So great job from Jamie with the big RP that led to that big team win fight. You know, like what more can you say? Like, look, didn't even get it. They were aiming for the Medusa. Medusa hid, and they just opted to go ahead and just throw everybody onto that tower and try to commit and keep it alive with, you know, the bonus of making sure that Breaker still lives. So Breaker's going to be aiming for a Scotty from this point onwards. It kind of doesn't feel like the Medusa needs BKB just yet, because honestly, like, what does she need it against? You know, you got Lich, you got Dewippa and the finger, Death Prophet with a lot of physical damage, physical damage and pure damage from Omni Knight, you know. Oops. That wasn't what I wanted to do. They're going to go ahead and TP on in again for this. They do not want this offlane tower to go down easily. You know, I mean, like, take a look at this Viper right now. He is pretty damn big. Like I'm saying, Gleipnir, I think, finishes this build. It really does. Because that Magnus RP and then you Gleipnir after the 2.5 seconds and have them all stuck there, especially with the Rod of Ados, just makes that whole entire combination even worse when you go ahead and throw down another Toxin. You know, it's a really good mix, synergy going on. So Magnus is right here, trying to go ahead and maneuver on a... all over the place. I mean, that AC is just lethal. And then when you get that horn toss from the Aghanim shard, eesh, that kind of feels like they want to go ahead and smoke up. They want to do this proper. They see Jamoke in mid. Kind of feels like he's going to be the target. Jamie moving on in. There's the skewer. Throw out the Mystic Snake and everything on top of that. Even Purification's not going to keep him alive. You know, I kind of feel like they are going to be happy to sacrifice their tier 2 on the bottom and go ahead and take this tier 2 in the middle. Yeah. The TP is available for everybody, and Glyph is available for themselves as well. Oh. Can they actually get this tier? They're going to go ahead and Glyph this up just so they can force this whole entire team back, as they're going to go ahead and advance in on this tier 3. Force another Glyph. They do have TPs available to come on back to their own side of the map. They're TPing on in, PSGS is. So they already threw the Medusa into the bottom lane. They have a 7k lead for PZR. It kind of feels like Jamie, being this mid Magnus, and is taking advantage of it and really controlling the tempo of the pace. Stampede being committed. They're going to go ahead and try to find someone. They found Sides, throwing out the Nature's Grasp. Oh, he tried to Overgrowth, but he silenced up for the moment. Oh my gosh, the gaze, the Chain Frost and everything. Oh my, that is just absolutely painful. Oh no. PZR having a disastrous fight right there, but they tried to escape and they got caught out. There was slightly a bit of a save the friend syndrome there, but you know, it was more along the lines of, you know, a 5. Oh, Jamie trying to time this from the looks of things. Now comes the Terrorize. Oh, they had it almost perfectly timed. Oh, they did have it timed. It was a perfect RP, and they were able to steal the Aegis. Out comes the Gaze and the Horn Toss to keep these people in place just for a little bit, because the 3 Spirit Siphon from Dedicated is doing a lot of damage, and blinks the Centaur with a great stomp and a double edge. Oh, they got one time on Jamie. Out comes the Bramble Meats to go ahead and keep this man rooted. But man, this Mystic Snake and everything on top of it, they were able to go ahead and grab the Aegis, steal it from them, and get a 4-man wipe from this play. Oh my gosh, that was a great setup from PZR. BS9 with the great Terrorize, followed up with the great snatch from Jamie onto the Aegis. They timed that perfectly. And to boot, a great 3-man RP. Man, Jamie has been on point in this game with his RPs. I think that was more or less the second best game of the play, or the second most impactful, because the most impactful the most impactful play in this game was that TP top in the offlane on the tier 1 to go ahead and protect their Medusa. That led to a lot of issues and problems. Nope, there's the Bramble Maze, out goes the Mystic Snake, and oh, the Stampede being committed. They go ahead and get the Dark Willow and they get the Treant, but that doesn't seem to phase PZR just yet, because they're going to commit using their Medusa's Gaze, and they're walking away from it. Okay, never mind. They are running away. All right, it kind of feels like Viper's like, okay, I'm running for my life. Science trying to avoid a lot of issues and problems. All right, Jamie, they're not done. They're trying to chase on this. Oh, the Blink 4 from DeWippa. They have him hexed up just a little bit. Now comes the Earth Spike. They're going to go ahead and throw the Silence. Okay, they're going to stomp and use the Double's Edge. They really wanted to get that kill onto Jamie. All right. Oh, boy. I don't know. I mean, Breaker is pretty big right now. Pretty big. When you have an Eye of Scotty, Ags, and you got your little Aghanim's Shard with Azdusa, I mean, right now it's pretty much trying to go ahead and apply big pressure in mid and see what you can do afterwards. See how they respond and where they commit, and try to go in the opposite direction of where their commitment is. Okay, they do have a lot of vision on bottom, which is going to be expiring relatively soon. It feels so it's about 40 some odd seconds, a little bit less than that on the other ward. So they can take advantage of this. If you're PSGS, you go ahead and be relatively aggressive. You know where a lot of their heroes are. At least you think you know where they are at. Okay, Breaker's TPing on in, and so is Akpath. They're showing two. They don't want to show the Dark Willow just yet. But, oh, they do see the courier. They do know backyard's back here. Oh, man. And Dewippa with the magic immune. Oh, the mana drain. That is just stupid. And not only that, that magic immune does not stop the Medusa's gaze. Alright, Dewippa being super annoying, using the mana drain and getting away. Great little notion, great little move there. So they're going to be applying a little bit of pressure here on bottom. They do have a lot of vision here. Jamie trying to catch someone out. At least he thought he was able to catch someone out, but nothing there. They're going to go ahead and deward and just go ahead and really try to figure a little few more things out. Oh, that top lane's being shoved in by the Centaur. That's a great job from Magic Gotti right there. Oh, Jamie really not wanting to see his courier get killed. Some good dedication from Breaker right here. Making sure that it doesn't go ahead and lose that tower almost for nothing. Not only that, it seems like Magic Gotti doesn't want to stick around, so he's going to be moving away. Without the Medusa, it doesn't feel like PZR is in any rush to go ahead and try to commit for anything just yet. They have an absurd amount of control in this game right now. You know, when their carry and their offlane hero is at 13k net worth. Oh, that's not good. Alright, so it was a 4-on-1 situation. That's okay. You just gave up a treant, that's all. When you are this far ahead and you have like about 6 to 7k net worth lead over their highest net worth hero, you take your time. You really do. You find an opening that you find to be good for you and your team, you take it. So they're going to go ahead and take the siege very slowly from the looks of things, try to force PSGS to come back, all while taking out their jungle. I mean, like, this is good. Oh, okay, so they're going to be moving away. Apply some pressure in the mid lane, of course. I mean, this is some interesting map movement because you're going to be... Not only did you force PSGS to come back... Man, that is stupidly fun. Not only did you force PSGS back, alright, except for Centaur, right? You got almost full control of the map with all the lanes. You took out you're taking out the triangle camps. They have no access to their own top jungle area. They're starving right now. There's double damage for Jamie, so this is like the worst thing you can possibly... This is the worst thing that can possibly happen if you are PSGS. You know? And not only that, Magic Gotti, from the looks of things, yep, is going to be saving on for the buybacks. Alright. He's the only one on his team. No. Lion and Lich do have it. Oh, and so does Jamokin. Alright. They found the Lich. They're going to go ahead and skewer him on back. It's going to be an easy kill. Oh boy. This is a very, very slow, methodical pace from PZR. You know, they try to go ahead and ward up. They kind of do. They have vision. They know where PZR is at. PSGS has to kind of sort of figure out where their angle is going to be coming from. There's the Bramble Maze. They do have Jamokin stuck right there. They're okay with it at the moment. Breaker. Oh, Jamie blink forward with the horn toss, skewer back, and the RP gets rid of 2. There's going to be 3 buybacks coming in. They have it committed. Oh, they're using the Medusa's Gaze. Oh, can they go ahead and get Jamokin right here? Out comes the Stampede and the Guardian's Angel. They're going to go ahead and have a big team fight under the Exorcism. Out comes the Chain Frost being used to great effect. The Mana Drain absolutely destroying everything, but this Medusa is so strong. She is just absolutely standing her ground and not caring, and just throwing out the Mystic Snakes and throwing a lot of right clicks. Oh, she finally goes down to the Lion's Finger of Death, and they're gonna go ahead and try to TP on out right under their own noses. The Centaur Stomp misses. Sides gets out, and so does oh, and so does a Akpat. Oh boy. I mean, you didn't want to lose Medusa there, but I mean, that was a very heavy fight for both sides. Mainly for the sheer fact that you lost your Medusa, but you didn't dedicate any buybacks. While the rest of PSGS had to use buybacks to get back into this, not get back into this game, but to stay alive in this game. Sides right now can be a little aggressive if he wants to be. You can go ahead and try to kill the Magic Gotti if he wants to. There's the Nature's Wrath. Oh, using the Viper Strike. They are going to go ahead and use the Stampede, but that Bramble Maze misses. So Magic Gotti and Dedicated are able to go ahead and escape from the terrible situation that they were in, as they were going to go ahead and try to find some semblance of map control for their own team. They did get 1 tier 2 tower on the bottom. They're trying to see what they can farm up next, or at least try to apply some more pressure. And Jamie, on the other hand, like if you're looking at this whole entire situation as PZR, I feel that going and pushing the top lane is no longer your objective. You get Roshan, you have control of the outpost. You know you no longer have a tier 2 tower on bottom. So my train of thought would be, this is going to push in just the way it is naturally with a tier 1 tower up. You get this damn Roshan and you just push from the bottom lane. I think that's their best bet. You tried top, it worked out relatively okay. You know the outcome the first time. Alright, you go ahead and get your shards on this. Oh my god, really? It's the old Nature's guys. See, this is where what I'm talking about. Like, that the second Roshan is like the most important. Oh man, that ward barely survives. See, I think they're going to go ahead and try this one more time. I don't feel that it's good for them. I think the best thing that they can do... Oh man, that ward scouted out Jamie. They know where he's going to be headed. They even ping it out themselves. Oh. Okay, they got rid of 1 tier 3. They're going to slowly move on in and siege from very far away. That Mana Drain doing its thing. Breaker not really caring too much. They need Centaur to come on back, and I think he's already here. Stampede is available, so they're going to go ahead and use it once with a blink forward from Magic Gotti all the way in the back line. They're going to go ahead and use the Overgrowth. Out comes the Guardian Angel. They're using the Medusa's Gaze right here to see if they can stone up Magic Gotti, because he is right now. Oh my gosh, that Iascati and everything. And the RP from Jamie landing on this Death Prophet, and Death Prophet with the dieback there. Same. Oh, there's the Chain Frost. They're going to call it GG, well played now. And we're going to be going on to game 3. And this series is tied up 1-1 between PSGS and PZR. So let me go ahead and to give myself a small little tiny break. Great job from PZR from turning it all around from the first game. Heading into game 2 as, hey, let's go ahead and just turn this around for ourselves, boys and girls and everybody in between with so forth and non-binary. So we'll see how the next game is going to be shaping up. I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be that much of a break, but we shall see. All right. It still says they're in the lobby for that. I think they're going to take a small little break, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh my water bottle and everything. I'll be back. Okay, so they. Oops. Aha. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, give me a second. Small little disaster happened. Alright, good thing I caught it. Yeah, water bottle fell over and almost spilled all over the place. Yep. That would have been bad. Anyways, so game 3 is on its way. I grabbed myself some food. All of that loads up. They finally got into the lobby, I think, and yeah. I did a small dumb mistake earlier. Instead of hitting being invisible, I signed out of Steam. So I was like, huh, why isn't any of my stuff updating? Oh, I found out why. Because I did something silly, that's why. Food. Good. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly eat the rest of my food.
Seconds remain. 5 seconds. seconds remain. 5 seconds remain. Dire's turn to ban. Radiant's turn to ban.
Okay. I'm still eating, but looking at this draft, if PSGS, okay, they have to come up big here. Okay. All right, so PSGS has been consistently taking a bristleback in all of their drafts except for this one. So this is very interesting for me because I kind of figured that if you want to go ahead and win this game in particular, it's whoever's going to not ban out, but whoever's going to get bristleback or the ban it out. I think is more or less likely going to have like a better game plan. And the reason why I'm so obsessed with bristleback is that if you watch game 1 of Arkosh Gaming with Team Dogchamp, you can see the effect that bristleback has in that game, and you more or less question yourself, like, why did you even let this hero like get into the meta? So with all this stuff that is going on right now, you banned out all the heroes that you have so far. No Dragon Knight, no Sven, no Pugna. You have no Juggernaut. You have no Grimstroke. The Viper is banned out. There's no Medusa. There's no Dark Willow, Phoenix, or Mars. You know, I think you were in prime position to go ahead and give yourself the window of opportunity to be like, hey, let's go ahead and go with a bristleback. You know, Pangolier makes it a little bit more difficult to go ahead and, you know, fix this, but you can still go for it right now. You really can, because at that, like, take a look at their lineup. Who are they going to stop you with? You throw Pangolier in the mid, bristleback is now your 1, Axe is your 3, so they opt for a Clockwork. Oh, interesting. That's great. That's not great. That's interesting to see. Yeah, 2 seconds of reserve time. If you're not going to have a bristleback in the game on your team, you ban it out now. It's like you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it because they banned out most of the most of the big carries. You need to get rid of bristleback, in my opinion. PSGS has been consistently banning out the bristleback. I don't know why they're not banning it out now. So you kind of sort of have to ask yourself, why are they not banning it? Because if they last pick a bristleback, you guys, your team is not in a good position to win.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Last call for the bristleback. I do like the setup for PSGS. They have a lot of good
10 seconds.
setups for each other. The bigger issue is that you kind of sort of need to have Night Stalker, I wouldn't say go off, but have like a relatively smooth transition.
Dire must choose.
Templar Assassin.
Ooh. Oh, they're gonna go for the late game.
Make the
Okay.
ultimate choice.
So they went ahead and intriguing. Okay, I thought they were gonna have dedicated go onto the Jakiro instead of the Skywrath, which means you okay. Excuse me. This got really interesting real quick. Excuse me again. All right, so Jamie's gonna be on the TA. Akpat is most likely with sides on the Pangolier, leaving Backyard and Breaker together in the safe lane. Okay, excuse me. If that was to be the lineup, according to what we've seen so far in the games tonight. Okay, we got DWIPA paired up with Magic Gotti. You got Shackleford with Jamokin, and that leaves dedicated in mid. This is going to be interesting. I am very interested to see how this plays out. I haven't seen a one axe in a while, so here we go.
Fire and ice.
Prepare for battle.
Okay.
Take it. I'll take it.
I shall not be
Rabbit. This changes everything.
This is going to be a very, very interesting game. Yeah. They're really heavily invested in trying to make sure Jamokin survives. 6 tangos, 1 salve. Their 5 has another salve and 3 tangos.
30 seconds to
So they're going to be moving all together on this.
let the
I think they're trying to do a surprise, and it's something I think they are not going to be seeing coming. They're not smoked up for this, so this is going to be a very fast... Jamie's in trouble. Already being gone on. All right, they're going to probably use battery assault here and uses a level 1 meld to go ahead and avoid this whole entire disaster, because this can easily turn into a bit of a troublesome situation. When you have Backyard recognizing the whole entire situation, you gave up 1 rune to be for them. So it's fast thinking from Jamie to go ahead and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and meld. It completely ruining his game more or less. It has to be careful on his last hits and so forth, but oh my god. He knew what was coming, so he needs to be very, very careful right now. And, like, any spell would kill him. Right-clicking is gonna kill him, maybe. He's gonna go ahead and use his stick. He's gonna be in a very, very tough spot at the moment. Finally able to go ahead and get his side blades, but he's being forced back. It easily got his bottle on the way, so he can potentially control that the mid lane very easily. Melding up. Huh. Okay. Trying to play it conservatively. Just like, wow. Music's a little loud for me. I don't know about you guys, but yep. Huh. Interesting. The Night Stalker is going to be... Okay, I see what they're doing here. Because Spectre is on the other side of the map. Up against a freaking axe. So a good so a definitely controlled start. They're gonna go ahead and Jamie trying to roll on in, melding. Not the best start for Jamie, but it could have gone way worse. I mean, like, it should have gone way worse. No bottle undedicated, so that it kind of feels like that's not really good at all. And Breaker just absolutely, I'm not saying absolutely destroying the lane, but keeping Spectre under check. And kept her under check so much that he's just going to run on in and get a ring of health. Honestly, I think he would have been better off if he just looked at it from this point of view. Like, you go ahead and proc your salve and just grab yourself a vitality booster after the salve is finished. So again, Jamie is going to be using the side cam to farm up. There's going to be a death on the clockwork again. It's an easy 2-2 score at the moment. Sides is farming relatively okay, not having to deal too much with Shackleford and Magic Gotti, but DeWippa's right there. Out comes the shackle shot. No, shackle shot. The swashbuckle. Jesus, what is wrong with me today? Oh, there's the bushwhack for a little bit. Backyard has to run away. He's gonna be dead in this situation. He can't stick around further. Like, the swashbuckle was on cooldown, and Agpat couldn't TP in a little sooner. So, you know, Backyard was in a bad spot. Swashbuckle one more time, leading into the battery assault. They're trying to force Gotti away from this. DeWippa, so, oh my, the DeWippa and everyone else forgot about the tree and couldn't pull the lane. All right, Jamie in charge of the lane at the moment, and this bottle has been so value for him in this lane that he was almost gonna be pushed and shoved out of it. That it more or less saved his lane. That is not good. Sides is dead. Your kill, a lot of your kill threat is missing now. All you have now is Aether Shock and Shackle. So, eek. DeWippa trying to position himself in a good spot to make sure they can get something going. Magic Gotti doing okay in lane, you know. 14-2 versus a 17-3 of counterpart. Rutherford, uh-oh, you're in trouble. Battery assault. There's the cogs. Here's the here's the not the shackle shot. Jesus, why do I want to keep calling it when it's supposed to be the swashbuckle, and it's not even bushwhack? Jesus, this is gonna be very tough for me to cast this one. Anyway, Sides is just went on in and got himself a very early javelin. 5 minutes in. That's great. Out comes the Aether Shock. Not enough mana for the shackles, but you know, they got a good kill on the Rutherford. They're going to go ahead and see if they can get anything out of this. They are level 3 and Gotti is level 5, so there is a bit of a mismatch here. Out comes the swashbuckle one more time to Whippa, not being too threatened just yet. Over on bottom, something that we have to take a look into. We have a leading Breaker who's going to go ahead and try to fight Jamoken under tower. Almost got it. Got himself an early Vanguard as well. And Jamoken, he's going to be stuck. He needs to go ahead and put himself in a position where he needs to farm. He can't allow himself to get killed whatsoever. In the mid lane, on the other hand, talk about dying. We have a very, very dead Skywrath mage. And if we look further up top, Dewippa is going to go ahead and try to pull the lane over here successfully. So that way, Magic Gotti can go ahead and get some more out of this lane. While the poor Pingalier is just suffering. So the game doesn't rely on Pingalier. This game relies, for PZR specifically, relies on the TA and the Axe. The PSGS put everything in the basket of the Spectre. So they're hoping Jamoken can go ahead and find a way from taking this not so great game that he's having so far, especially in this laning phase right now, and turn it around so that way he and his teammates can have a chance at winning this game late. Because that's the last thing that they want to see right now. Oh, they got a small glimpse of Jamoken. Jamoken is going to be jungling in the in there now. Oh, backyard. Backyard needs to go ahead and TP and reposition himself. So he couldn't go ahead and fight that. There was no way. Didn't have boots. Over in mid, we're probably looking for a... Oh, he is not rushing Axe first. He is rushing Desolator first. Oh boy. I don't know if I agree with this. Oh, out comes the silence. Oh, misses with the... Oh, no dust whatsoever. Misses with the Mystic Flare. But Jamoken just goes ahead and walks away from this. Oh, Jamie!
To the temple's defense.
He's going to use his refraction and use the haste rune. It's not going to slow him down a bit. He's going to go ahead and see if he can get this easy kill. And he's able to do so. And there's the trap, but the Void slowing him down. Might fall to this tower shot, but lives. Oh, good old haste rune and a little bit of a low roll from the tower. And bottle. You know, that's quite helpful. Excuse me. Alright, Agpat is going to be controlling this lane for a while. I do feel that a Templar Assassin with Ags is one of those games where it's just going to be like controlling quite a bit.
Dire should look to their top tower.
Oh.
Not so fast.
Alright. It seems like they have a little bit of a fight setup going on. Ancient Seal, Mystic Flare. Oh, Agpat. You must have a headache right now. It's better him than Breaker. Breaker's aiming for that Manta right now, and Breaker can do whatever he can in lane. Like, he knows the Mystic Flare is down. If he checks real quick, Dedicated's not that low. Well, it's actually relatively low on mana. Like, he can only use like maybe three spells, and that's about it. So he can move on forward and be a-okay. He just needs to check and use a little bit of math to make some calculations, and he'll be okay to challenge this. Like, he's going to go ahead and instead just let them have this tower. I would have asked one of my buddies to be like, hey, can you TP on in? Just like one person. You know, that's all I would have asked for, honestly. Because I think it would have helped to have one person there to go ahead and defend the tower. It's a tower that you don't want to give up so easily. Because it has like almost no value, yes, but at the same time, it's just like... It is the one tower that you really need to have up for a little bit. But if we go ahead and take a look at the net worth... Oh, Jamie with the lead at 5k, 10 minutes in, and is almost done with his Desolator. He has one Mithril Hammer on the way. I mean, like, yeah, like, I don't know. I think the build with Aghanims for TA is going to be something that I hope he knows about, because if he knows about that Ags TA, it's going to be very, very bad for PSGS, because that forces one of their heroes to go ahead and invest into a Boots of Travel, and that's something you don't want to do with this lineup. Yeah, you really don't want to do that with this lineup. You already have phase boots on Magic Gaudy. You're gonna have to whip a go ahead and do that. It's a bad idea. The only person that you can really take a look at and be like, okay, let's go ahead and do this with is really dedicated. Breaker, oh, almost got caught, but was able to go ahead and avoid that situation. They're trying to see if they can go ahead and get this kill on dedicated. Throw out those traps. Ooh, dual breath almost got him. Over in the top area, we're going to go ahead and see if they can take this tower finally. There is no snakes just yet. Backyard's trying to give sides all of the experience, or at least most of it, so that way he can go ahead and do something with his game. There is the... I don't know if the tome is available. It should be.
Guess it's my shot.
Excuse me.
Look to their top tower.
That is a very dead top tower. Over here, though.
Dire's top tower is no more.
I thought they were going to have a small little engagement, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They do have 2 smokes on Hoodwink, so if they pop one right now, they can go ahead and engage on this axe with no issues or problems.
Take it. I'll take it.
They really want this axe dead.
Dire's top
All right.
tower is
Oh, great hook shot from Clockwork. The Mystic Flare misses. Talk about sacrificing and making sure Breaker keeps a game right now. Great job from Agpat keeping an eye on Breaker, and Breaker's is like, well, I almost got this. That was almost a disaster for me. And so that's wonderful to see. That was a great job from Agpat. You know, his game was already messed up to begin with. They already got one tower. They're getting the second one. All right, Jamie throwing out traps left and right, making sure he can survive just a bit. Desolator is right there. So if he decided to turn, now would be the moment. All right, they have dust on the Skywrath. So, oh boy. Oof. All right, so we're seeing a smaller rotation happening towards mid. Breaker, I think, learned his lesson the last time. So he's going to go ahead and reposition himself in a better area. We have a pause.
I'll take it.
And with this pause, we'll be playing some music.
I shall not report you.
Ooh, axe
All right. We're back to this game. Oh. And Breaker just trying to steal farm there. This Spectre is on top of his team's net worth, so he's able to go ahead and keep his team alive. All right, but the axe is going to TP on top. Oh, they're able to go ahead and catch this Hoodwink. Where did the Hoodwink die? Over here. Oh, Sides rolling away, rolling all over the place. Just trying to create some chaos. Ooh, and Jamie hiding. They have vision. They have really good vision, honestly. They have, like, at least a decent amount. Like they have one there. They can see into here. So they can formulate relatively well, like where everybody is. Like, yeah. Yep, there you see Jamie. Oh, Jamie's gonna stick with the classic TA build with the Desolator and Blink Dagger. Oh, they are gonna walk on in. They see her. I think she's dead. There you go. Oh, that's a no feels good moment. I think maybe BKB is in order. And when it comes to building TA now with the new meta, the reason I feel that a lot of people rush an Aghanim Scepter is that you get like a 2-in-1 because of the Psychic Trap. Let's see, it's called Psionic Projection. There we go. So you go ahead and throw out your trap, Psionic Projection there. You get a free Blink Dagger on top of stats. And that was like one of the biggest things that as a TA player, you kind of sort of need to figure out. Because like, you know you're getting no real value out of the Blink Dagger stats wise until like much later in the game. So you either go for a Swift Blink later for obvious reasons. So yeah, I mean like, yep.
Tell me someone saw that. Not what you expected?
There's a lot of things going on. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do after this. If I want to continue streaming or not. Alright. So game 3 is going to be continuing on.
Players here.
We have a bit of action going on as well.
Dire's top tower
It kind of feels like one big team fight here will more or less determine what's going to happen for the rest of the game. You have Axe more or less free farming. He is running at greedy. He is very close to getting his Aghanim shard. So everybody needs to converge on him if you want a shot at stopping him. And you have to do it twice in the next few minutes. Otherwise that Aghanim shard and whoever he's blinking on is going to murder your team. Okay.
And it's off.
So the one thing I like from PZR right now is that they have one side of the map with everybody. Kind of like their win condition, right? They're putting all their egg baskets in Axe as well as TA. So what they're trying to do is they're going to try to optimize the map where they feel like they need to protect the Axe, right? And split push. Because this is what's going to happen. You're going to have this whole entire thing. All right. They see Jamie pushing on the outer sides of the map all alone, which is perfectly fine if you let Jamie just split push by himself. All right. So now they wasted 4 resources on that side of the map, which leaves Axe all alone, who's going to be easily buying his Aghanim shard now, as long as he doesn't rotate too far away from his team. Maybe this is what they need to do. I have no clue. This is something you don't want. I don't feel like this is like the correct rotation for him. Because he has 4 heroes now engaging on him. He doesn't have Aghanims. He has too many heroes on top of him. Agpat is here trying to save him. He doesn't have any magic resist against 4 heroes like this. And that set him back just a little bit. I mean, like, a lot if you really think about it. And so you realize Jamie died there once, and for you to show up, you kind of sort of made the mistake of like thinking, oh, I'll be safe there. Especially if you have no vision, it's kind of like that's not where you want to go. You know, they were playing it relatively well in what they had already. They had 4 heroes here protecting Breaker. They know the situation. They saw Jamie get ganked on the bottom lane, and they know there was 4 of them there. Not to mention, if they got into a big team fight, Jamo can go ahead and haunt on in. So I think the better movement there was to go ahead and just invade on the enemy side of the map and just take their farm, while you let Jamie, you know, recuperate from getting murdered. You know, but it doesn't seem like these kills are slowing down Jamie at all. In fact, it kind of feels like Jamie's more determined to farm even faster. Because like the Spectre is slowly starting to close the gap. And you have an Axe who is going to be getting his shards in like in a few seconds. As soon as that happens, it's like boom. Bought it. Got it. Good. So now they can go ahead and start forcing team fights. They're ready to rock and roll right now. They don't need BKBs at this very moment if they all decide to roll as one. And this is like kind of like the window of opportunity for the team right now. They got one. They can go ahead and start rolling even more. Dedicated's right there. They hook shot and missed on Dewippa. Dewippa trying to throw out her... misses. There's the blink forward from Jamie using the dust. They're trying to get Dedicated. Oh my gosh. Breaker thinking he got Sides is not giving up on Dedicated. He really wants this kill and is able to go ahead and get it with the swashbuckle as well. And Hoodwink is gone as well. Man, Breaker really thought he had Jamokin there on the Spectre. So this is kind of like their window of opportunity, not window of opportunity, but this is kind of like their window right now. If you are a PZR, you go ahead and see if you can knock on this door right now. You have an Axe that's ready to go, who doesn't need Blink Dagger. You're throwing your wards down, your Serpent wards. You have a lot of opportunity. You have a Desolator that's going to chew on through this tier 3. If you get this tier 3, it's going to be huge. If you can get anything on top of that, that's even bigger. If you can get PSGS to dedicate themselves for this protection on high ground and get like a kill out of this, it's going to be the best thing you can get, because in comes Agpat. Oh, they're going to go ahead and commit Gotti to this, who's shackled up, who's outside of the crippling fear, but man, they were able to get one. Oh, and there's the call, and they're getting 2. Oh, but they had to buy back onto the Night Stalker. 4 is down. Sides needs to TP on out, which he's going to be doing. And oh man, they were so close to making that the best play for themselves. Oh, PZR. Of course, that was a slight overextension for obvious reasons. Like 4 of them did die. They really needed to push it, and they did. But that ice path from Shackleford just absolutely not destroyed, but absolutely ruined the game plan. They had no escape. They were stuck right there. Great ice path from Shackleford. That's why it was so important for Agpath to get on top of him and then stop him from casting it. He was almost able to do it, but couldn't. So right now it is a race to BKBs and Blink Daggers. Right? Breaker just needs to go ahead and finish that Blink Dagger. Jamie needs to finish that BKB. Once that is set in stone, it is pretty much game over. I'm not gonna say game over, but they're gonna go ahead and commit the Ancient Seal. Can they get the last hit on? Yes, they are able to go ahead and get the last hit on dedicated. The hook shot on the back line, able to get Shackleford to not go ahead and mess this up. Sides is going to go ahead and ride on in and try to bounce all over the place. They're going to kill the Jakiro. They have this Night Stalker shackled, who's going to be on a dieback, and right now they only have one buyback available. They're going to go ahead and try to knock down this Rax, and if they're able to knock down this Rax and recognize that PSGS has no buyback with this, and DeWhipper surviving, which is really important for PSGS to continue in this game, they can easily finish this game right here, right now, if they push it. And that's what they're going to do. They have the Serpent Wards laid down. They're going to go ahead and try to force everything out of PSGS right now. And PSGS needs to find a way for a defense right here, right now. Great bushwhack and acorn shot. Oh, here comes the Jamokin Hunt. They were able to get Egg Pat, and they were able to go ahead and get the Shaman. Oh, the BKB from Jamie. Can you go ahead and get the kill onto Dedicated? He needs to make this worth it. He's able to go ahead and do so. Can he go ahead and TP away or do something and get out of this horrible situation? Oh, they're going to go ahead and throw down the sentries. His refactions is keeping him alive, but he tried to meld away out of the situation, and Breaker coming on in. Oh, what a great blink forward onto the Hoodwink. And again, Shackleford saving his team with an ice path, and Breaker trying to do his best, trying to man fight this whole entire situation, but he's gonna go down eventually. Oh, while that is all going on in the mid lane, they already lost one tier 4. They can easily lose the second one if they were not paying attention, but thank goodness that they were.
All wrapped up for takeaway.
Oh, this game turned up to an 11 in less than 2 minutes. Hi, that was one of those 5-minute rushes of like, hey, we know what we got. We're going to take it to the edge. Excuse me. Let's see. What does Axe need to do after this? Honestly, I think what he needs to do is finish out the Vanguard, and I think he can go ahead and try to make like maybe an Eternal Shroud. He can turn into an Eternal Shroud. Like, it's not that difficult for him to make an Eternal Shroud. Blade Mail. Okay. Oh, yeah, and Blade Mail makes sense here because of the Mystic Flare, but Jamie gets rid of him so quickly, so it's kind of like... Oh, okay. But anyways, what do I know? I'm just casting this game. Okay, Mystic Flare, yeah. The Haunt. Yeah, kind of makes sense. I still think of Crimson Guard will actually help out a lot given how much right click they actually have. You know, don't underestimate the right click of a Night Stalker and a Spectre in a team fight, man. Don't underestimate that. I think the Breaker, Breaker has one slot open. You go ahead and give that Aegis to Breaker, and I would be yelling at Breaker, be like, dude. Alright, so they're going to go ahead and commit onto Jamie. We do have Magic Gaudi on the side here. Does have his Aghanim Scepter. So he can go ahead and farm up a little bit better. Alright. Okay, Blade Mail is finished on Breaker. So they can really threaten the rest of this game. In fact, what they can do, right, is they can go ahead and commit to this fight like they're doing right now, as they are, and they can go ahead and have someone infiltrate on the back line to finish the tower. You know, it can be Jamie if they wanted to, because Jamie does have Aegis. You know, Breaker is the front line. They're landing the Ice Path. They thought they had it on 2, but only had it on 1. Great positioning from Breaker to make sure he doesn't get smacked by the Ice Path. So they're going to go ahead and try to... Oh my gosh, that's a lot of acorn shots and great bushwhack. Alright, out comes the Haunt. They're going to go ahead and commit on forward. Blade Mail is active, and the roll-on is coming on through, making a lot of chaos in the back lines. All right, down goes Apgot. All right, and so does, oh my gosh, a great snipe from the Hoodwink to take out the axe. The buybacks are coming on in to see if they can go ahead and get Jamie. Jamie's trying to go ahead and kill this Hoodwink. The BKB is on, the TP is coming through, and oh, just right on time. That Ice Path, again, Shackleford with the save for his team to make everything worth it on these buybacks and these high ground defenses. But even then, they are losing too much too quick. They lost a tier 3 tower, they lost another Rax, and I believe that was the ranged Rax. Okay, the melee is right there. They still haven't gotten rid of the tier 1 tower in mid. They need to get rid of this so they can go ahead and at least relieve some pressure from the mid push.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay. They need to find something out of this. Like, DeWippa's right here in the back lines, probably wanting to get rid of backyard right there. Oh, they're going to go ahead and commit onto this. They have him muled up in the air. There's Akbot saving sides, and Breaker moving on forward and couldn't get a good call. He's going to be stuck right here facing 3-on-1, 4-on-1 actually. He's going to go ahead and try to fight this and is unable to get something out of it. And so far, Jamie's all alone, still in the fountain reviving because his teammates decided to feed one by one except for Backyard. Backyard couldn't move any forward because DeWippa is in great positioning here. Oh, never mind. And Jamie went over and showed up as like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and murder someone. And Spectre right on top of Jamie. Here comes the shackle onto this Hoodwink. And they're going to go ahead and finish the job right there. Thanks to these Serpent Wards. Jamie is on like, hey, what's going on? All right, Jamokin is actually starting to come online. He's going to be very, very dangerous and very, very soon. His heart's going to be almost finished. He has just enough for the vitality booster, but he needs the recipe, so he needs about another 1,011 to go. Oh, sorry, 11,100. So 1,100 to go, more or less, is what I'm trying to say. So, I don't know if they're trying to aim for the kill shot now, because if they're aiming for the kill shot right now, they need to. I would suggest smoking up because they have been scouted out harshly. So, it kind of, because like it kind of feels like if you can get rid of that tier 2. Oh, blink forward. They're able to go ahead and eliminate Dedicated, who's buying back. There's a BKB, and the Crippling Fear is on. They're trying to kill Magic Gotti as soon as they possibly can, who's surviving, and all this dual breath slows and everything. The dust going on. They're trying to kite the axe, and they're trying to find their way out of this. Oh, Apgot is just not in the greatest position. Who's going to go down? Breaker trying to move away, trying to see if he can survive this fight. Oh, there's the... Oh, he's kind of stuck right there. The blade mail going off. Can he get the finish? No, he's unable to do so, so he's going to go down. Oh, what great kiting from PSGS. They're able to go ahead and get Breaker. Breaker not seeing any of this. Aghanims is on his mind. Personally, that's not the play. Oh, here's the bushwhack from DeWippa trying to see if he can go ahead and get the kill on the TA. Very, very ballsy. I'm trying to make Jamie think he is not alone. Nope. Psionic traps, baby. He found out. He made it. No, excuse me. Ooh. And bounties left and right. Oh, can he kill this? Oh, can he kill it? Yes, he's able to go ahead and kill it. That's going to delay the Spectre for 3 minutes plus on getting the heart. And that is a huge, huge play. Okie dokie. So as we can see, PSGS is on their back foot right now, and they need to focus on wanting to outmaneuver their opponents in PZR right now. PZR, more or less, I wouldn't say has the upper hand in all of it, but is in prime position to just go ahead and just stomp their foot onto any winning ways that PSGS has in mind. Okay, they are just one good team fight away from winning. They're still. It kind of feels like they still want this Rax here. I don't think that's the play, because they have a lot of traps on the side. Oh, they're throwing down the Serpent Wards. They're trying to see if they can bait something out of this. Oh, the blink forward, the Manta. They have Apgot with a great hook shot. They're isolating this damn stupid Night Stalker. They have one die back down. Two of their own heroes are gone. And there is another dead Jakiro. Oh my gosh. And Jamie goes down. He does have buyback. They're trying to kill this Spectre, and they're able to do so with a great dunk. But they had to sacrifice everybody for this Rax. Now it's just a march. I mean, like, take a look. 117 health for the tower. In fact, I think the ballsiest move that Jamie can do right now, which I would not recommend at all, is him buying back and TP'ing Psionic Projection and just kill this tower. And then make sure he has another Psionic Projection back here so he can go ahead and get on out of the Psionic Trap, sorry. So he can get on out ASAP. You know, because like, this trap can be huge. 117 health. Can he hit that hard? Yes, he can. Just 2 hits. That's all he needs to do is just 2. And that thing will be gone. Like, that's the thing. Like, if he does that, you know, they can get an exposed throne. And they can really do whatever they want at that point. Alright, they finally got rid of that pesky middle tower. 35 minutes in. You know, that's how fast-paced PZR was been playing this game at the 20-minute mark. As soon as that Axe Shard went onto the Axe, they just ran at them. Oh. I guess the illusion... What? I don't know if that actually procced. No, anyways. Axe is almost there with his own Aghanim Scepter, which Berserker's Call applies Battle Hunger. Okay. Again, I really felt like maybe an Eternal Shroud, Crimson Guard, anything like that can help with team fight, I think would have been like the way to go. But I don't know, like he's been getting some good calls, so who am I to really question that? But oh boy, Backyard's in trouble. They have vision of him. They want to go ahead and use one bushwhack and then go ahead and finish the job there. But he's under a sentry? No, he's out of range of the sentry. So they're just going to go ahead and kill him with using the Cloak of Flames and another Spectral Dagger to finish the job. While all of that was going on, Jamie had the foresight to be like, hey, let me go ahead and get rid of this tower over here too. I think he's... Oh, I think he just realized they're going to be coming towards him. So Psionic Projection to the other side of the map. And he feels like, hey, let's go ahead and get this Roshan. Because he dragged that whole entire team back here this way. You know, honestly, like I'm saying, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. I think this is an easy... Oh, they need to make sure they pick up all the items before the Spectre shows up. The Aghanim Shards is right there, so they can go ahead and give it to himself. Because, like, if he does it for himself, his traps now cause silence. Nope. So he will apply, so he will go ahead and use it. Again, like I'm saying, he can go back here and do it. You know, it's It's a relatively easy one for him to do. Not to mention he has psionic traps on the other side of the map. There is Magic Gotti pushing out slowly using the trees. Hoodwink doing what Hoodwink can do. You know, DeWippa's doing a great job. DeWipper has been landing some sick snipe shots. You know, that sharpshooter's like, oof. You know, again, like that what was it? 1.7 channel time is 1 second. Jesus. Like, this is why you rush psionic trap, the Aghanims, so you can get your psionic projection. So you can just more or less travel everywhere around the map. And not only that, Jamie has got himself a nullifier. I mean, this is just one of those games where you just throw your whole entire body at everybody and not even hope for the best. You know you need to take care of business right now. This right now is the biggest team fight. Out comes the Haunt. Hook shot from Akpot. They got everybody stuck there thanks to the bushwhack. But oh my gosh, the roll in from Sai to just save the team fight for his PZR teammates. And oh my gosh, everything's starting to fall for the side of PSGS. Jamie doesn't care about team fighting. He cares about objectives. He's taking out everything in sight that he sees. Mystic Flare being used. The BKB is right there. He's going to go ahead and just die. I think die. Nope. Because you know why he didn't die? Psionic projection. Was able to go ahead and get on out thanks to the psionic projection. You know, that I thought he melted there, but he used the psionic projection instead. Was able to go ahead and do that. So much so that he's going to go ahead and reapply and show up again. He needs to keep throwing down those traps. Needs a minimum of 50 mana. So he can go ahead and move on in very, very slowly. Doesn't take much for him. He will move in on this and will probably, well, definitely not going to die now. Like, he committed for that.
Among the hidden ones.
Like, everybody was a little... Oh, they see him now. He's like, uh-oh. The Ice Path has him in place. They're going to go ahead and use the Pyroclasm. But he's going to go ahead and walk away. It feels like Jomokin wants to hunt him down because he does see him. But, oh, the Rod of Atos is going to follow him. He's going to be stuck wherever he projected to, which is down here. But he's going to blink away safely to a different part of the map. Again, as a TA, you just got to keep throwing down traps if you're going to have, like, if you're going to keep doing this. You cannot have not have another trap somewhere. Oh, they are smoked up over here on the bottom lane. Dedicated to breaking his own smoke. And Jamie sees this. He's like, who do I kill? He knows his traps. So he's going to go ahead and jump on back in the back line using the last ionic trap that he had over there. And is going to go ahead and TP on away. Oh. Kind of feels like they're going to go ahead and do something here. They found DeWippa. DeWippa using the bushwhack to make sure that the axe can't follow him after the acorn shot. Oh, man. Mega creeps are on. Jamie running into DeWippa. DeWippa is going, oh no, I'm going to go ahead and use my sharpshooter. Do anything that I can to live. But man, that call was perfect. Had him on the edge and got Hoodwink killed. Oh, talk about getting hoodwinked yourself. Oh. Got yourself out of trouble only to go ahead and get back into it. Oh my gosh. Jamie with the plays in this game so far. Oh, as soon as he got that Aghanim Scepter, everything changed. Oh, that hook shot barely missing. A great call onto the Jakiro. They're going to go ahead and apply everything to Jamie. Jamie down for 90 seconds. And Breaker is not dying whatsoever. They committed everything on killing the TA, and Riot is going to go ahead and roll on in, using the cogs to bounce all over the place. All right, Akpat is dead, but the blink forward from Breaker going to go ahead and try to kill Dedicated, but Breaker doesn't seem to be going down just yet. Who is going to go down just now? And Jamie with the buyback with the BKB. Oh, may have made a big mistake because he's trying to get out. He's going to go ahead and use Psionic Projection to move on out. Right now, Backyard and Sides, they're going to go ahead and try to get away from the situation. And oh, the Whipper almost got that Bushwhack Acorn shot combo onto him, but a little late. The throne is still exposed, and all these mega creeps causing a lot of problems for PSGS. Ooh, this is getting close and tasty. I mean, Jamie almost threw the game away for his teammates if he due to that buyback. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think at this point, you kind of sort of hope that you can get a leveler or something. No leveler available, but he does have an Orb of Destruction. Kind of feels like Flicker might be a friend of his, or some. You know what? Flicker can be good for Pango, I guess. No, well, the Minotaur Horn. Honestly, like you want to go ahead and ensure that certain people are going to live, right? So I think putting the Minotaur Horn onto the axe, I think would be a lot better, even though he does have an illusionist cape. So you give the illusionist cape to Jamie, who I think will make better use of it. And yes, I know like having that extra illusion for axe would be great due to his like spin. You know, and not only that, his counter helix is not affected by his Aghanim shard. So it kind of, you know, gives you a better idea of like, hey, maybe it's a good time to be like, hey, let's go ahead and start moving neutral items around, see if we can get a better look at finishing this game. Because right now, PSGS is kind of struggling to get to deal with these goddamn like mega creeps. So much so that they have a gem onto the Spectre, you know. And honestly, like, she needs all the items you can possibly have on her, and a gem is not one of them. A gem is certainly not one of them. Pangolier with a good amount of buyback. You know, Sides is definitely committed to that. Wants to make sure that he can be ready for his team. You know, Boots of Travel, I think, will help out a little bit as well. You know, Swift Blink, yes. This is all or nothing for Jamie at this. I don't want to say all or nothing, but like he's very, very pretty much like pot committed. There we go. Pot committed for this next play. If he goes down, he cannot allow Breaker to go down next. Or almost immediately. They need to make sure that these side lanes are all pushed in as far as they possibly can. They can go ahead and wait for the next Roshan, which is going to be in about 10 seconds if it respawns. So let's see if it respawns. If not, it's going to be another minute. There it is. They have the psionic track there. I believe it gives enough vision. There's the projection. I think you put your power treads away for the ages here, because you need everything. You need the nullifier, you need the blink dagger, definitely need the BKB. You have a whole bunch of different items that you kind of sort of need to go ahead and be like, hey, let me go ahead and grab this and give this to my teammates. There's a refresher orb and everything. Like, the refresher orb is definitely on the damn freaking Shadow Shaman. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Alright, cheese for the axe. They're going to go ahead and smoke up just a little bit, and a little bit of miscommunication from Jamie, who's like, hey, what's this? I see creeps. I hit creeps. He's going to go ahead and TP. Psionic Projection is available for him, so you can go ahead and come back. Like, the cooldown's 30 seconds, so... As you can see, PSGS is struggling just a little bit with dealing with all of these mega creeps. Bottles on the ground, everyone's trying to do what they can to survive. Night Stalker trying to push. I swear someone had a bottle, right? They're trying not to get caught. Oh, no bottle on the ground. Throwing one illusion at it. Throwing down one set of wards. Alright. The Dark Ascension and the Crippling Fear is happening. They're trying to find a kill right here. They got Akpad in trouble. He was kind of stuck, but there's the call from Breaker. He's going to use his Blade Mail. Everything's being committed on him. But man, he had to use his cheese at the last second. And of course, there is internet trouble. Do they have buyback available? No, they do not. Ooh. He has 5 right on top of him, man. I don't think he's surviving this. Because, like, Sharpshooter will... Is he broken? He's silenced. Oh, Jamie blinking on forward, trying to save his buddy, but he's going to go down with a buyback. Aegis is being claimed. They have one set of wards down. Oh my gosh, and Wright's trying to save this team fight. And oh my gosh, they were able to go ahead and trap the Night Stalker. And now they just need to focus on the damn Spectre if they can go ahead and get this fight to go falling in their favor. Great buyback from Breaker, and they're able to go ahead and get this Night Stalker. Out comes the Mystic Flare to go ahead and get Breaker one more time, but the taunt keeping him alive, and then the dunk. Oh, they have Spectre up in the air, but Dedicated's buying back into this fight. Out comes the Sharpshooter and barely gets the damn Bango, and Jamokin moving on forward. Oh, there's the Root and on the Mystic Flare, but Dedicated coming out at the wrong moment. Oh no, and a second dunk from Breaker. Oh my gosh, Spectre versus the team. He's gonna be standing all alone. I don't think he's gonna be surviving this because Jamie is trying to avoid this. Out comes the rollout. Jamie's like, I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this throne. Oh my god, they made it invulnerable, but they're calling GG? Are they calling GG? I have no clue. They're calling GG. And PZR ends up getting the win over PSGS. It's going to be a 2-1 victory in Game 3 for PZR, the Petting Zoo Rejects, and they're able to go ahead and hold this over their rivals for tonight and this week for a bit and say, hey, we beat you and we got your number. Jamie with some fantastic TA plays and some fantastic mid plays as well. You know, PSGS, they have nothing to be sad about. They played their hearts out and they did great. I mean, this Game 3 was... oh boy, like it was rough. It was rough. They had a lot to deal with. They had to contest with a mid TA, which was a great last pick. And then they had a Spectre who was starting to come online and made things even more difficult for PZR. Like you take a look at this Axe who was just like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to go ahead and just go balls to the walls, which they did. And they went all in on an Axe that was a pause 1 in this game, and it worked out great for them. So that's the end of Game 3, and this series belongs to PZR, like I said. And congratulations, PZR. You guys got it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up some music and let that be my outro. Because, oh wait, before I do. All right. So I want to say thank you, Wolf210, for the follow. Anything that was happening throughout the Steam, in terms of notifications, I wanted to go ahead and just do all of it at the very end, so that way I can go ahead and be like saying thank you and so forth. So that's me saying thank you at the very end. Thank you so much, Wolf210, for the follow, and thank you so much for everybody who showed up to watch this with me and listen to me cast the game. It means a lot that you guys go ahead and go out of your way to enjoy some Dota with me and to watch. So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and play my music and let that be my outro. And then after that, I'll decide what to do.